spooky music. Nah, that was a Discord call. I don't know. As soon as I start the call, of course, Hawk calls me. This is like a theme on the show.
He's got to be doing it on purpose at this point.
Right? At this point, he's like, yo, why haven't you started the show yet? It's 8 o'clock and it's 8:03. That's probably what the call was for this time. He's like, hey, you always ignore me because of the show.
What are you doing?
What are you doing? If you're not on the show, what are you doing? Anyway, welcome to Two Generic Guys. Thank you for coming back. If this is your first time listening, shout out to you. Thanks for coming to us for your first listen of the day. It's pretty early, so 8 a.m. over here on the West Coast. Ritchie's on the East Coast, so it's 11 for him. Maybe not your first listen of the day if you're living in the East Coast, but if you're in the West Coast, thank you for stopping by. We had an eventful day yesterday, whole bunch of NBA. Some UFC. Richie's going to dive deeper into the UFC this time because I missed out. I'll get into why. But first, have we seen the leaders of the statistical categories in the NBA? It makes sense to me, like already. When you look at it, AD's leading the league in points. I kind of figured that. As much as J.J. Redick was talking in the offseason about how he kind of noticed all these inefficiencies in Anthony Davis's game, taking the long twos, bringing them into shorter twos. I see AD shooting like right at the free throw line now. I don't see AD with his heels on the three. And he would take 5 of those a game, it felt like last year. To now, he'll knock down a three or he takes that free throw line jumper. There's no in between. And I like that. And I feel like it's just cleaned up his game and cleaned up the offense.
Yeah, it's not bad for him to take a three once in a while, but he's much more effective in the mid-range and in the post. And then obviously you have the greatest passer of all time, LeBron James, throw him the basketball, throw it up to him, and he can make a play on it.
Right. And Reeves has looked good, still foul merchant, but he's looked pretty good.
He's still doing some disgusting work the last 2 seasons, but he's still getting buckets.
He's learned from the best.
He has. And I like that D'Lo has the ball in his hands a lot less, and they're going more one-on-one with Reeves. They're having, LeBron finding AD in the post or LeBron just going one-on-one. So it's just that the offense is just so much more efficient. I still think the defense is terrible.
Mm-hmm.
They still take plays off like they have been since LeBron joined the team.
Well,
but
I will say the unsung hero of the season to me has been Rui. I thought Rui has added a lot of different dimensions to that offense in the way J.J. Redick's using him. But at the same time, you got 4 people who don't play defense. You got right. D'Lo, Austin Reeves, Rui, and LeBron, and then AD's just sitting in the back.
Yeah, I mean, LeBron can lock in when he wants to. He can be a very good defender. It's just effort. It really is just effort with him because we've seen it before that he can lock in on defense. We see in the Olympics that he still has it. And we've seen it in certain games this season on certain possessions. He can lock in and poke a ball free and, take off in transition or something. But it's just, how long do you want to do it? How much energy you want to save for the offense? I mean, the guy is going to be 40 at the end of the month. Or no, at the end of December. At the end of December, he's going to be 40. So, but.
It's interesting that, with this team, I just said 4 bad defenders, and then you have AD, who's obviously an all-world defender. Like, the guy has been elite from college all the way to right now. But it's like they're leaning on him for the points. And we're calling Austin Reeves, D'Lo, Rui, all these guys offensive players, but yet AD is the top scorer on the team.
Right.
And he's still the best defender. So, I mean, I think AD right now is really, making a case for early MVP, just to be that front runner.
And early Defensive Player of the Year.
That, too.
I think he should be in those conversations every season, too. I don't think people talk about him enough. I think people, they go in the playoffs and they say, oh, he has an off game or something, or he shows up every other game offensively. But on the defensive side of things, he's always really good.
Yeah. He does seem on offense, in the playoffs, he'll have the 32-point night and then he has the 18-point night. It never does seem to be in between, but
right.
I get what you're saying. Because what was that, last year or was it the year before? There literally was every game. It was like 40-15, 40-15, 40-15. What series was that?
I feel like it was 2 seasons ago.
It was 2 seasons ago, right? Yeah, because last year they didn't really do much.
Yeah.
But yeah, AD's looking great. This might be his best season yet, and we really might be seeing the genius of JJ Redick.
I know. And his first season as a head coach too.
Yeah, he's implemented some things already that he talked about on the podcast. Now that he's doing in the game in real live NBA reps, it's pretty impressive. But the one downside I seen yesterday, I guess Jackson Hayes is in some domestic violence dispute with his girlfriend.
Watched the video this morning.
I tried to watch it. It seems like they're just chasing each other around the house, telling each other to stop, and they're arguing.
Yeah, she said stop about it a million times.
Yeah, she said stop about a million times. He's like following her from room to room. And then a guy comes out of nowhere. He's like, bro, chill. And then he's like, bro.
But then they were outside, and then Jackson Hayes pushed her, and then he spit on her.
See, I didn't see that part. I only got to like a minute or two in right now. Like I just seen it this morning as well. I didn't see it last night.
Yeah, I didn't see it last night either. I woke up and I seen it. But that was
it was posted about 9 hours ago. The video that I seen, which would mean midnight, and
right.
I was asleep.
And I think the video was a little over 5 minutes, and that when he pushed her, and he didn't. I mean, he pushed her, but then he tried to spit out. I think it missed because they zoomed in on him spitting.
He's never been a good shooter. You know, he never has good accuracy.
Not good.
So I would suspect even in a domestic violence situation, he wouldn't be accurate, and that's the case.
Yeah, you missed because she was walking left and the spit went right. You missed.
You know, it's just,
man.
It comes down to why he's not a good defender.
But honestly, if you lose Jackson, I don't think that's addition by subtraction there. He
seems like a really messed up situation, to be honest.
But he's such an undisciplined defender too. I mean, it looks like every possession he's trying to foul. Like he finds ways to foul people, and he's just constantly out of control defensively.
Well, you know, overly aggressive defender, overly aggressive at home. It translates, and you know, let's just get out of it. Let's get rid of him.
Yeah,
Jackson Hayes. We could find a better big than that. Why don't they use Christian Coloco?
They could. I think Christian Wood's out too right now.
Christian Wood's out. Christian Coloco looks incredible. Everything I've ever seen him on the Raptors, I've never seen him look like a scrub out on the court. I'm not saying he's out there, you know, Hakeem Olajuwon or doing anything special, but he's not making dumb plays. I think he's got decent hands. He blocks shots. He could catch lobs. He's fit. He's strong. Like, I don't understand why Coloco is not getting some run. At the same time, you're going to play him over AD? You know, so it's kind of weird when you have this center discussion about the Lakers. You know, you got one guy who's leading the league in points and looking like an MVP candidate. You got one guy who's probably about to get suspended.
Yeah.
And then you got Wood out. And that guy last year, the years before, he's been bouncing around on veteran minimums for 4 or 5 years. No team really likes him. I don't understand what he does in the offseason or in the locker room that teams and coaches don't really buy in and believe what he could do. Because when you give him an opportunity to play, he puts stats up. He gets boards. He gets points. He really doesn't defend well. But I thought he would have somewhere in the league. You know, I think we drafted Christian Wood in our, what was it called? Expansion draft.
Yeah.
We did. I know we drafted him early because I think I took Cam Thomas and you might have started it with Christian Wood.
I might have. Yeah. He was definitely one of my top.
He was either your 1 or 2, number 1 overall pick, number 2 overall pick, something like that. So, I mean, this is a guy like we thought if you send him on a team to put up, you know, big stats, bad team, he could do that. So you would think he at least would have some sort of fit on the team, but he's hurt at the moment. So now it's just up to Christian Coloco to be that big.
But, I mean, you do have available centers out there if you're the Lakers, too, that you could sign.
Vanderbilt's hurt as well, right?
Yeah, Jared Vanderbilt's out, and he can, you know, guard 1 through 5. Yeah, he can guard 1 through 4. He's, I guess, undersized, but he could almost guard the 5 at times, too.
Yeah. So he boards up. So, I mean, at this point, if you rebound, you could go play center.
But I guess if
Terrence Mann beat Rudy Gobert in the playoffs, a 6'5" small forward,
right.
You know?
Yeah, so if you're the Lakers, I guess you're just waiting on those 2 guys to recover. Because there are available centers out there. You have JaVale McGee out there. You have Damian Jones out there, Chemezi Mitu out there. I mean, they're not great centers, but they're decent, second string, third string bigs that you bring off the bench, play 10, 15 minutes. At least they're going to defend and rebound. They're not going to give you big numbers every night. But I'd rather have those three guys than Jackson Hayes.
Right.
And even more, especially with his off-the-court issues now.
We can move on to the next stat leader, rebounds, Domantas Sabonis, which is pretty accurate because last year he also was the rebound leader and broke Moses Malone's all-time double-double record, the streak, which I think was like 70 games in a row. Something crazy there. And then he's actually tied with Zubac. So I'll say that. Zubac is listed second, even though they're both 13.0. So shout out to Zoo. I think Zoo's had an incredible season. I mean, he looks like he's facilitating more. He's obviously protected the rim. The past 2 years, he's looked like a good rim protector. Not always like leading in shots, but he's there with contests and clean, like straight up verticality blocks and everything else. I like Zoo.
And I think he's averaging, I mean, it's only 6 games in the season, but he's averaging a career high. And obviously, you need other guys to score. You lost Paul George. You don't know when or if Kawhi Leonard's going to come back. So other guys need to step up and score, and he's been one of those guys.
And we've seen James Harden take these bigs who roll hard, work hard, rebound hard. He's turned them into, double-double machines. Look at Clint Capella now.
Yeah.
Clint Capella, ever since he started playing with James Harden, he's been a double-double machine. And why did they pair him with Trae Young? Because they've seen some qualities that Harden had and Trae Young had with playmaking and lobs and kind of this heliocentric offense where you need a great screener and a guy who could roll and catch a lob. And, it's fit, and Zubac is now fitting in that Clint Capella category where he could be this 7-foot screener and roller.
Except I think he has more talent offensively. He has a little hook shot, Zubac.
Yeah. Zoo's always had the little hook. He can knock a free throw down. Not too good, but.
And Capella hasn't.
Yeah, Capella hasn't. Capella has been a 50% free throw shooter and looked worse at times.
Yeah, he has not developed any kind of offense since he entered the league. Shout out James Harden and Trae Young. Shout out James Harden and Trae Young that saved this man's career. He's getting
right. Honestly, saved this man's career. But that's the thing. That's the talent and what they bring as players. They can make people greater around them.
Right.
So that's why, when people try to drag Trae Young or even James Harden at a time, it's like he's getting people paid.
He is.
He's figuring out to convince other people that these players are good just for playing with him.
I mean, Capella's probably made over $100 million in his career.
I mean, you think of Capella, PJ Tucker, even think about his 2 boys he brought from Houston. Who did he bring? What's his name? The dude with the short dreads. He went to Philly and they got caught up with they got all the tampering violations.
Daniel House Jr.
Guys that shouldn't even necessarily be in the league, he makes sure is in the league.
Right.
That's what James Harden does. He really does look out. He gives his boys honey buns.
He did give his.
James Harden shares the wealth.
Yep.
Top facilitator in the league, and it's him and Trae Young at the assist leader. Trae Young, 11.7, which is pretty damn good.
Scottie Pippen 6. That's crazy.
Let me see what's Harden at. I didn't get to write it down. 10.8. So 10.8, he's in second place. But 11.7 assists is absolutely incredible from Trae Young. He's facilitating. And he even has DeAndre Hunter playing out of his mind.
He does.
That's pretty impressive. And I think Hunter already missed a game or something.
I think he's missed more. Out. I think he's missed more than a game.
Yeah, he's already been hurt. But he started the year great. He looked incredible. But this is the DeAndre Hunter story. He plays 50 games a year.
Yep. Good thing I didn't think.
Why, in a sense, but obviously not the skill. But
yeah,
you don't know what you're getting out of this guy. He's hurt all the time. Every other game, he gets hot, hurt. Next, blocks. Chet Holmgren holding it down. Isaiah Hartenstein was the big story of this offseason. Everyone's saying, "Oh, the Knicks, they lost out. The Thunder signed them for $30 million." Yes, they overpaid a ton, but the Knicks right now are kind of noticing something on the defensive end and the offensive glass. They're not really getting those rebounds like they were last year. Jalen Brunson's not scoring and putting up the numbers all across the board the way he was last year. And I think that's because he's not having this utility big. Like you don't have as we were saying, a Clint Capella, a Zubac, a guy who really does the dirty work, gets in there and makes everyone else shine while he does all the things that need to be done. Now you have Cat there, who's kind of worried about himself, and he does other things, obviously, creates threats for the defense, but he's not that guy who's just diving for offensive rebounds every single possession. He's looking for his too. That leads me to say, Chet Holmgren, they brought him in for help. Isaiah Hartenstein. Chet Holmgren's leading the league in blocks, and Hartenstein hasn't even played yet.
I know.
So they have this extra help coming, these reinforcements coming later into the season, and you already have Chet locked in, going into his third NBA season, second season playing, because last year was his rookie year, but we all know LeBron broke his foot the year earlier. So that's why he was a rookie last year.
LeBron was worried about Chet.
He was. He knew the next great white hope. He tried to take him out. But
Wemby matchup too.
Yeah.
Earlier. Right. Won the game, blocked his shot.
Chet's the man.
Mm-hmm.
It's Chet, and then I don't know, Cooper Flag. I don't even want to look forward to Cooper Flag. I'm enjoying Chet.
Right?
Can't be mad at Chet. He's doing great.
Be Cooper Flag and Cam.
Right, Cooper Flag and Cam Thomas. Just get Cooper Flag on the Nets.
Mm-hmm.
That's all we want to see.
We don't want Jimmy Butler. We hear rumors about Jimmy Butler. We don't want Jimmy Butler. We got Cooper Flag.
We don't want Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler's going to clog up the mid-range for Cam. Cam gets Jimmy Butler buckets.
He's going to play 55 games or something anyway, so what's the point?
Right, what's the point? He's going to have an eyebrow ring and some straightened hair and eye makeup. Jimmy Butler, I don't know why. But it makes sense, though, because Brooklyn is the goth team. They're the all-black team.
Made the connection there, okay.
Maybe that's why Jimmy Butler wants to go to the Nets, so he can wear all black all the time.
Right.
Could be some goth vibes. I don't know. But something even darker than this. Jordan Poole's leading the league in steals? What's happening? Kudos to Jordan Poole, but it's like, what in the world? How is this guy leading the league in steals? Is he gambling too much on it? Is he not being an efficient defender, but he's just going for these steals? I haven't watched as much Wizards games as I guess I should, because he's getting about 3 steals a game, and we got to keep our eye on Jordan Poole.
But he averaged over a steal a game last season.
Yeah, he always, he's out on the perimeter. You usually grab a steal. Like Cam Thomas is grabbing, he grabbed 3 steals opening night.
Uh-huh.
Just sometimes when you're out on the perimeter early in the season, plays are getting fumbled, things happen, and you get the tip steals and stuff like that. But we'll see how that pans out throughout the year. Also, second and third place is Fox and DeRozan, which I thought was interesting because they're teammates. So you have 2 people, second and third place, averaging 2.5 and 2.3 steals, being second and third. So we'll see what happens with the Kings as well. I don't know if they could hold that up. 2 players leading the league in steals on the same team. That's kind of crazy. That's either a really good sign and a great defense, or they just had a crazy statistical night against a bad team. They had some sort of matchup because it's early in the year. There's been less than 10 games for everybody. I'd say it's about 7 games or less. So Either they just got lucky a couple games, their defense is catching a lot of people off guard. Something they're doing is working on the Kings. I think that's what stands out to me is if you got 2 people leading the league in steals, they have something that the league isn't hip to yet.
Not last night. Didn't work out last night.
Yeah, it didn't work out last night for the Kings.
Had Drake talking shit and stuff, man.
Yeah, that was strange, I wish I saved one of these videos because it was something Drake was standing there looking tough before tip-off, staring him down with his man's Chubbs or something. Yeah. Lieutenant Chubbs.
I'd kill myself if that's my name.
Lieutenant Chubbs, and I'm supposed to take this guy serious. Like
Nah.
it sounds like a funny nickname. The fat kid in a camp would be his nickname.
Like
You
it
ever
sounds
see
like
Fat
art.
Camp with Ben Stiller?
With what? Which one?
Ben Stiller. He came out. It was this movie in like the '80s called Fat Camp.
No, I never seen it.
So, like that's like a name. Like one of the kids on the movie would be Lieutenant Chubbs or something. Like it is the worst nickname ever. And you expect me to be intimidated when you're standing next to Drake, who's in like a lime green fur jacket.
Mm.
Is
Lieutenant
this the
Chubb
guy we're intimidated of? If anyone even spilled a drink on that jacket, he would have a hissy fit.
right.
Like
Yeah,
let's be real here. Let's be real here. If DeMar DeRozan punched him in the nose, got blood on his jacket, he'd be, "There's blood on my jacket. This is a $10,000 jacket." Like Drake, come on, man. You're a reality show star. Like not even a star. He was like a side character who got paralyzed by a school shooter.
Who got paralyzed?
Like, what are we doing here? My man's just an actor.
Man,
My
leave
man's an
tomorrow.
actor. He's out here trying to intimidate DeMar DeRozan, who's from Compton.
I was gonna say he's from Compton. That's
My
not.
man's is from Compton, and you're out here perpetrating some street dude, and you got a guy named Lieutenant Chubby, and he's supposed to be scary. I don't know, man. Some of the antics are ridiculous.
I know.
And he tried to call him a bitch after the game, but he turned his head as soon as he's like, everything about it is just like childish behavior.
But I mean, DeMar was walking off the court, and Drake looked like he said it quiet as hell too.
He said
He said it. Like, DeMar DeRozan was over here. This man just said it like this. I don't know.
And then he turns like he didn't say it directly to anybody. This is what I'm saying. Like we all know Drake
He said it
ain't saying
to
this shit.
He said it to the basketball court. He was looking this way. DeMar was
Also, I love how this video gets shared everywhere where he gets to call DeMar DeRozan a fucking bitch and all this stuff. Russell Westbrook kicks fans out all the time and all these other things. The NBA stands by it and says, we will not allow you to heckle our players. People get kicked out for heckling Caitlin Clark. People get kicked out for heckling Angel Reese. Why when everybody and their mother actually sees it, we have it on camera. We don't even have these other bums, these random schlubs with day jobs who just show up to the game and heckle. We get them in and out quick. There's no video evidence of what they say, but they're getting kicked out. We have video evidence of this man trying to intimidate a player prior to tip-off and after the game.
It wasn't intimidating.
Before, it wasn't intimidating by any means, but he's attempting to. And that's what I'm saying. None of these schlubs with day jobs are intimidating these guys anyway. But that's what I'm saying. Like, if we knew he was trying to intimidate and heckle in a vulgar way prior to the game, why do they let Drake do it, but they don't let anyone else do it?
Because he's Drake and they're in Toronto.
Because he's Drake and they're in. But, like, this is what I'm saying. Like, he should be like, all right, we're just going to let people, call me a fucking bitch out in public now. Like, if a fan did that, which Drake is a fan, he's a fan of the Raptors, and he did it, why can he do it? I would be like out there and be like, come on now.
Yeah.
The guy who clocks in 40 hours at Jiffy Lube can't come here and let some steam off and talk some shit to me, but the guy who makes $40 million a year can come here and talk some shit to me? I don't know. He gets those seats for free. Most of them are comped. It's just there for the clout. These celebrities don't pay for shit. That's something I've learned from paying attention to celebrities, listening to interviews. When I was little, I remember the first interview that woke me up to this. Ludacris said he got rich and stopped paying for everything. The second he got money, people started giving him stuff for free. He said, I got money and now I don't even have to spend it because I'm famous and people give me free shit.
Yeah.
And that's what happens. These tickets are all comped. All the celebrities you see, for the most part, at the Garden, Madison Square Garden, they comp celebrities' tickets all the time. It's to bring buzz and importance and everything else that's there, It's to bring attention, and they could show the camera around and be like, this is an important thing. It's all part of the marketing. But that's the thing, is they're setting a bad standard. That's what I'm coming around to. Is like if Drake can go up there and motherfuck everybody and try to bring his homies and try to threaten DeRozan out in public in front of everybody, like what goes to stop to the next fan that does it now? Can I buy floor seats and wear a fur coat and tell people to shut the fuck up and you're a fucking bitch? Can I do that when I go to the game now? Can I stand up and not follow the code? Because you're supposed to be out of the way. Drake's toes are basically damn near on the court.
Right.
Like there's just they police everybody else, but they're not policing Drake out here. It just begs the question, is this part of the act?
It's a good question.
Is this the act then? Because if we're acting and following the rules the way we should, and everybody cries foul when a fan calls them a bitch and they get so upset, Kevin Durant, you name it, LeBron, you call anybody anything. I think they called Luka fat. Somebody called Luka fat and got kicked out last year.
Yeah, I remember that because he said the fan was heckling him in the first half, and then the guy called him fat in the second half.
Called him fat. He called him out of shape, and they kicked him out of the fucking arena. But Drake's standing there with his homie, literally saying, like, I am trying to intimidate DeMar DeRozan, making it a thing. I don't know. It's just so weird to me. It really is. Because they cry player protection and all this stuff, but then when they can sell it, they love it. Right. I just want some consistency.
He gets special treatment.
And, I just don't like that. For Drake, all the things that he's been surrounded with, and especially, bro, Kendrick Lamar made some crazy statements about Drake. So now you're letting somebody who's a sexual abuser and like all this other stuff go and intimidate your players at a public event? Like, what are we doing? Like, really take a step back and think all the things that Drake was accused of, and the NBA is putting him front and center.
Yeah.
LeBron's supposed to be a family man and everything else. He even got his son on the team, but then you got Jackson Hayes beating up his girl. You got all these things going on. I don't know. You get what I'm saying?
I got you.
Like, it just seems like a little bit of hypocrisy. They gotta handle what's going on.
Whatever brings in money.
Right, and that's what it comes down to. Is the bottom line, and that's the sickest part.
All right, let's talk about your Bucks. What's going on with the Bucks?
Doc Rivers, if he is a coach of your team, and then you have Darvin Ham, who was his entrusted colleague and sidekick, like a Batman and Robin, it's going to be a bad season.
Yeah, don't expect a lot from the Bucks.
Nobody takes Doc Rivers serious. On top of it, the other day I was listening to a Bill Simmons pod, and like somebody slipped up and basically said on the pod, like, Doc Rivers is out of it. Like, he doesn't care. He's like, somebody said something, and they kind of glossed over it and just kind of deflected and redirected the conversation, started talking about something else. Doc Rivers is Bill Simmons' golf buddy. Like, they've been golfing together for years, especially ever since he retired. Bill Simmons is also a season ticket holder of the Clippers. He's been for like 20-something years. So he has like a really good relationship with Doc Rivers. They golf together. Him, Doc, and Larry David are like avid golfers, and they're all buddies, and they golf together. You know this? That's why Larry David was on Bill Simmons' show and
I know
all the other stuff. So, like, they know the inside scoop, and they know who Doc Rivers actually is as a person. And all of them knew when he took the job. They're like, he didn't want to coach anymore. He just took it for the check.
Well, he said it himself.
He said it himself.
Last year, he said, I was surprised they called me.
And this job is not easy. I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy. That's what he said that too.
Yeah, he said that too. Like, what are you talking about, bro?
They were second in the NBA, first in the East. They had the second best record in the NBA under Adrian Griffin.
Yeah, I don't know what happened with that. Giannis must have gotten into a fight or something. He wanted to cut Thanasis. I don't know.
Something weird happened, I know, in the beginning of the season because Scott Skiles quit, remember? Like 2 days before, and not Scott Skiles, Terry Stotts. I called him Scott Skiles.
But wasn't he an advisor or something?
He was an assistant coach on the team, and they just traded for Damian Lillard. So they traded for Damian Lillard and his head coach.
Mm-hmm.
The head coach that was his best head coach the whole time, not Chauncey Billups.
Right.
His original head coach that knew how to run Damian Lillard and get the best out of him, you know? So you had Damian Lillard and his head coach coming in. 2 days before the season starts, Terry Stotts quits because apparently they had a fight in practice in front of everybody. So, that was weird. And then you got Griffin tries to run a different defense and then switches it back to drop after the first couple games. They go on a crazy run. And then Doc Rivers comes in, they go below 500. They go from the best team in the league to below 500 with Doc. It's just weird.
Yeah, I don't understand it.
All of it is just weird to me. And I feel like as soon as the Bucks sold their team, he was out. Giannis didn't feel that loyalty to the next ownership. He feels loyalty to Milwaukee and everything else in the city he loves. That's been his home for the past 10 years. But I think the second they sold it to somebody else, he doesn't owe that word to them anymore the same way.
And he went 30-13, Adrian Griffin, the 43 games he coached.
That's what I'm saying, 30-13. He had the second best record in the NBA. If you look back at the screenshot of when Adrian Griffin got fired and you see the standings at 30-13, they were the second best team in the league, not in the conference, not in the Eastern Conference, in the NBA, second best team.
I don't know if I've ever seen that before, having that good of a record in such a short amount of time and then getting fired.
They also, if you really look back at it, during Adrian Griffin's time, they won the craziest amount of close margin games. I think Vegas got involved.
Oh, my God. Here we go with the Vegas.
I think Vegas came in and said, listen, you guys won too many close games. I think Adrian Griffin instructed his players not to lose certain situations. Something. In some instance, some way, he broke an NBA code because shortly after, his son is now out of the NBA after being a first-round draft pick and played well whenever he played.
What did he hit? 2 or 3 game winners his rookie season, right?
Yes. And now he's out of the league.
He's following God.
That's what I'm saying.
He's following God, man.
He's following God because something was the devil that he now needs to follow God because I don't understand why he's doing so well and then his dad and him just get kicked out the league while they're succeeding at higher levels than other people.
So Aubrey Griffin's not going to make the league now?
Maybe not.
Aubrey can't make the league? Damn. That family's cursed.
Unless he's going to sacrifice his dad or something. And then maybe it'll happen. Yeah, this episode is going off the rails. It's been off the rails from the jump.
I don't know where you were going with that. I wasn't following.
But I don't know. I really just don't know. I don't get it why Adrian Griffin was the best coach in the NBA and no one's giving him a job.
And now you're paying 3 coaches.
And now you're paying 3 none of it makes sense. You gave the guy an extension and then fired him right after. It's like hush money. Like he literally was super successful. They paid him in the middle of the season and then fired him shortly after.
Beats me.
And then same thing with AJ Griffin was on the Hawks, gets a new contract with the Rockets. They cut him right after. They pay him out. Why'd you give him the new contract if you're gonna pay? If you're just gonna cut him? You could have signed him to a 10-day. You could have signed him to anything, a short 2-way deal, anything. But you signed him to a real contract, and then out of nowhere cut him at the same time. It's just weird.
And he went from playing almost 20 minutes per game to playing next to nothing and only playing 20 games. So I don't know what happened.
Me neither. That's what I'm saying. It's really weird why a father and son duo were doing fine in the NBA. Not even fine, excelling. And then now he's out of the league. And he was, if you even look back to his high school, he was like a 5-star recruit, top 25 player coming out of high school, maybe even top 10. Like AJ Griffin was locked in. He went to Duke. You don't go to Duke unless you're not a top 10 guy. I don't know. It's just strange to me. Where are these guys going, and for what reason?
He was number 12.
Number 12. Look what I'm saying. I told you he's top 10, and he's 12.
Ranked 12th in his class by 247 Sports. ESPN 100, he was ranked 9th overall for the class of 21.
There ain't no cap in my rap, bro. I know what the fuck I'm talking about. I know where AJ Griffin. I recruit these guys. Like I really do this shit. You can't tell me I don't grind this tape. And I know for a fucking fact AJ Griffin's nice.
We saw it this season. If you didn't see it in high school or college, you saw how well.
Right, you seen it. If you didn't watch him in high school, you didn't watch him in college. At least if you watch him in the NBA, you would know he's a hooper.
Yeah.
You don't hit 3-game winners your rookie year if you're a scrub.
Right.
The coach shouldn't even put the ball in your hands in the first place unless he trusts you.
And then all of a sudden, he hardly plays his next season.
Right. Very strange stuff. But, we're going to pray for you, AJ Griffin.
God's got him.
God's got you. We got you. Two Generics got you.
Two Generics got you.
AJ Griffin, if you want to come on Two Generic and let it all out, you can. You're invited to the stage, AJ Griffin.
Bet.
If you're tuning in, if you're listening.
Yeah, I'm sure he is.
He is. He's locked in. He's locked in. Also, have you seen who's in the top 10 points over Luka Doncic for points per game?
Probably Cam Thomas.
It's actually kind of insane. He's getting 30 points a night. I'm really liking the results.
And where's Luke at?
Right below him at 11, I think.
Oh, I'm looking at totals.
Oh, totals?
I hate looking at averages because by the end of the season, averages mean nothing. Because no one plays. Like Embiid will be averaging 30, but plays 20 games.
Right.
But
I guess, yeah. And especially this early in the season.
But, I mean, at this point in the season, everyone's the same right now. But Thomas is 8th overall in total points. Where the fuck is Luke?
8th in total, 9th in average.
Oh, Luke is 25th overall with overall points. Damn. That's pretty crazy. Like, Cam Thomas is ahead of Trae Young, Devin Booker, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Lillard, Kevin Durant, Jaylen Brown. It's crazy to think about. He's ahead of those guys in total points this season.
I wouldn't have put my basketball reputation on the line for anyone else.
Man.
When I back something, you just have to know. I'm a little off, but I see it. I see it. And I set my sights, and I know.
You do.
I haven't missed too often. The 3 guys I promised would be NBA superstars have been. Giannis, Tatum, Cam Thomas. It's not like I'm out here every single draft season going, this guy. I mean, I'll hype some guys up. I'll say they're going to be good players, and they do become good players or whatever. I also say my misses. Marjon Beauchamp, my ultimate miss. Ultimate. I did say his best case scenario was Trevor Ariza. 4th, 5th option, starting small forward, starting shooting guard, wing, that just hits threes, plays defense, and is tough. And you want him on a squad. But honestly, he has no confidence whatsoever. And you can't teach confidence. He looks terrible. He looks like... If you just watch Marjon Beauchamp for the past 3 years, it is the least confident basketball player you'll ever see in your life. And it's sad. It really is. Like he even came into the league. He picked number 0 because he said he came from nothing. Like he wanted to have this come up story, this underdog story. but it's almost like he has a little bit of imposter syndrome that he's got here, and he thought he came from nothing, and he kind of almost made himself sound like he didn't belong here. I shouldn't be here right now. But the problem is he actually believed that a little bit too much.
And now Andre Jackson Jr. is getting more minutes than him.
And Andre Jackson Jr. was getting bullied by Matas Buzelis in Summer League in his second season.
He'll always bring that up.
Bro, it was all game in the little gym. If you were in the little gym with me at UNLV, you would understand. You would see what the fuck happened. Like, he was getting bitched. It was bad. Like, he was throwing him around. I'm like, Matas, relax. This is preseason. Yeah. I don't know. I just say it how I see it. Don't shoot the messenger. But yeah, like Andre Jackson Jr., he's a great athlete. Just not a strong defender. Good defender, quick defender, can jump high and everything. Just not a strong defender. Doesn't really have a strong base. And that just is what it is. So I don't trust Andre Jackson Jr. defending. I don't trust Darrell Wright defending. Gary Trent Jr., Marjon Beauchamp, Pat Connaughton, Damian Lillard, Chris Middleton, Bobby Portis, you name it. I just named 7, 8 players, and that's top 10 of the roster. The only 2 people I expect to defend, at least at a minimal level, is Giannis and Brook Lopez. Like, that's it. After that, there's nobody.
Yeah, it's hard to win games like that.
Nobody. Me, Hawk, and Raheem watched the Bucks game, Bucks versus Nets. Both of them came out, didn't watch the Bucks at all this season. They said they looked old and slow. That's the one thing they got from it. They said they just look old and slow. They don't got it no more. They all look washed. And I agree.
And they statistically have one of the worst defenses in the league.
They do. And you got Giannis and Brook Lopez guarding the rim, and you have the worst defense in the league.
As far as points allowed, 118.7, that's 24th in the league.
I knew it wouldn't work with Gary Trent Jr. He was Damian Lillard's small forward in Portland.
And he hasn't shot well so far this season either.
And whatever happened in Portland? What was the biggest gripe? They get to the playoffs, they can't guard. Dame Lillard, 6'2", CJ, 6'3", Gary Trent, 6'3". You basically had 6'3" guys defending out there in the Western Conference. It was a mess. And you know what the Bucks said? Hey, let's bring the Clippers coach from that era, and let's get Dame Lillard and Gary Trent Jr. from that era, from 10 years ago. Let's try to run back the Western Conference from 10 years ago in the East. It'll be a good idea. Watch.
And now they're going to lose Giannis.
Now they're going to lose Giannis because of it. And, I think Doc was brought in for a good reason. Giannis wanted out regardless. Now he has the excuse. Yeah. Everyone will let it live. Because when LeBron left Cleveland, everyone was upset. If Giannis leaves Milwaukee, no one's going to blame him.
No.
Everyone's going to be like, yeah, you're damn right he got the fuck out of Milwaukee. Doc Rivers is signed there for the next 3-4 years. You think he wants to lose for the next 4 years of his prime? No.
Well, they've been talking about him, getting traded since before they won a championship.
They did. And Giannis went there and won. He won in Phoenix and showed him what's up, Bucks in 6.
Because they were talking about him going to I always remember the Mavericks and the Warriors. I feel like were the teams they always talked about him potentially going to.
And last episode, if you tuned in, I kind of broke the news before everybody. I seen the way this season is going already. And about 4 to 5 days before the news broke that Giannis wants to go to Brooklyn and Miami, I said it. I said, Giannis has had these rumors in the past, and we were talking about it. Golden State, Mavs, even Lakers have been a rumor before. I said, I think he stays in the East. That's what I truly believe. He does want to move. He wants to go to a major market, and he's going to go to Brooklyn or Miami. He would have went to the Knicks, but Cat's there. Too much money, too much contracts, too much egos, and whatever is going on. Plus, he wouldn't want to play with Cat. Cat and Giannis are 2 different people, in my opinion.
Right.
Giannis is a Mamba mentality type of guy, and Cat is more of like this happy-go-lucky type of personality. So I just think there wouldn't be a good chemistry match anyway. So Giannis going to Brooklyn with a Mamba mentality, and he's going to Cam and play with Cam Thomas, who basically is a young Dame Lillard. And then you got Giannis with a young Dame Lillard, that's who Giannis wants to play with. Giannis wants to play with 25-year-old Dame Lillard. He doesn't want to play with 35-year-old Dame Lillard. But right now he's playing with 35-year-old Dame Lillard.
Yeah, they waited a few years too long to get Dame.
Yeah. But I mean, they got Drew in the meantime, and they got a ring.
They want
so
to
regardless, I think that's what they wanted. That's what he wanted. Giannis wanted a ring. He wanted to win a championship. He wanted to bring a trophy to Milwaukee. The last person to bring a trophy to Milwaukee also had a pretty long name, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Right.
So you got Kareem and Giannis Antetokounmpo. Those are the two legends of Milwaukee. You know, they each brought a ring there. Oscar Robinson, obviously. But, like, they traded Kareem and never won another ring. So Oscar was the number 2 guy over there. The two kings of Milwaukee are them. It just is what it is. And then maybe number 4, we could throw in Sidney Moncrief, Defensive Player of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
The undisputed GOAT of defense.
I will say, I wouldn't mind Giannis going on the Warriors with all the young talent they have. Try to help Steph win his final ring. I mean, you got, Podziemski, you got Moody, you got Kuminga, all seem like they're improving. You got Buddy Hield, who is just shooting lights out. I don't even know if saying him shooting lights out is even doing it justice. He's on a different level so far this season, even with Steph out, and he's coming off the bench and getting buckets like this. So that could be the piece that puts them over the top to try and go back and win another championship.
I'm trying to look at the past. Hold on. Bro, I almost got the 9 wins on the fast break. Let me show it. We just fell off, got 0 viewers. Fell off a cliff. Not even Mom.
That's tough. She just texted me.
That's funny. Damn, Jalen Green screwed me, bro. I would have won last night. How much did Buddy Hield have?
Buddy Hield, 27 points.
Oh, I would have lost by 2 when I would have ripped my hair out. So, all right. Maybe it was better that I didn't start Buddy Hield. Because if he had 27, I would have lost by 2 points.
I'd rather lose by a lot than lose a close game.
Yeah. But, bro, look at this. I won the entire run.
Mm-hmm.
And the rewards, 3 wins, 6 wins, 9 wins. And I got stuck at 8, and I lost the last 2.
Shit.
Check this out. I had Vooch, Zion. Everybody hit free throws and rebounds except Jared Allen. Got nothing. He averages 5 free throws a game. So I don't even know. And this is Gobert's lowest free throw game against Jokic in like years. If you look at historically, they've played against each other 18 times. And the average amount of free throws Gobert shoots and makes, not even just shoots, makes against Gobert is like 5 to 6.
Wow.
Jokic. And he only shot 3. Trae Young averages 10 free throws a game, only shot 6. Zion averages 8 free throws a game, only shot 5. Vooch hit his average at 4. It was like 4 something. So he got 5. That was good. But yeah, I got screwed the last 2 days, or I would have had a super pack.
What do you got in the super pack?
The super pack, we'll see how much this goes for, how much it's worth, but I think it's at least worth 50 or more.
Wow.
I've gotten a super pack before, and I sold it for 120. That was last year. I don't know what's in it. Depends what they put in it for cards, you know?
Right.
Like if they really pack that thing up, people want it real bad, so they get the odds of getting something like that. So they'll pay whatever to try to get it. But this week, it looks like I'm just getting the 6th win, unfortunately. Yeah, but, the new fast break run is coming up. Run 2. And it's 5 players who will combine for 25 assists today. There's only 3 games. So 6 players. I mean, 6 teams.
Can you use Trae?
Yeah, I could use Trey. He would be the freebie. But shouldn't I use like Schroeder or something?
Yeah, he's shorter.
I like saving Trey. I have his rare now too. I bought his rare last week.
Yeah, because you could use him later in the week for points and free throws.
Murray's out. Yeah, Murray's been gone.
Yeah,
So and
what
Ben
about
Simmons is questionable for today in Detroit. So yeah, I'm doing Schroeder.
what about Cade?
Motorcade?
He averages 7.2 a game.
I could do Cade. Cade. I want to throw Suggs in there because Paulo's out.
He averages 4.5 assists per game. Sucks.
Mm-hmm. So we need some more assists. I don't want to use Luka on a night like this. I don't want to use Cam Thomas. What's the play? What's the play here? Let's look at some teams. With the Pelicans, there's some people out.
You have
Is it the CJ McCollum night?
I mean, he's their point guard now.
Expected to miss 2 to 3 weeks. Okay, so this is an Ingram night.
Never mind.
And even Hawkins is hurt.
Jesus.
You think I should do Alvarado or should I just do Ingram?
I would take Ingram personally.
Because I know Zion's averaging more right now, but I think Ingram's a better playmaker than Zion.
Ingram averages 4.5 assists per game.
Zion averages 5.6.
I don't know. I'd rather Zion on a scoring night though.
Right? I like him on rebounds and points in the paint and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Free throws. All right, I'm going Ingram.
So need one more.
Need one more. Maybe a Kyrie.
Maybe a little Daniel Tice action.
Oh, the Daniel Tice action. No, I think Kyrie is the move.
Yeah. Wait on Luka. Wait on Luka.
Right. Wait on Luka. Wait on Trey. Wait on Zion. Franz could be a good play too, though. But Franz is a dimer, especially if Paulo's out.
But what
this is the lineup I'm going with.
He might be
lucky. Pray it doesn't bite me in the ass.
How many assists you need?
25.
That's not terrible.
Right? This seems like a good enough lineup to get me 25. Schroeder should get me 8. Kyrie should get me 5 to 6. Cade should get me 5 to 6. Suggs should get me at least 3. And Ingram should get me at least 5. And I think that's 26 or 27 right there off my estimates.
And I feel like Franz is going to look more to score with Paulo out.
Right.
And Suggs is more of a playmaker anyway, so.
Suggs got to do something about his little noodle head. Either get the hair transplants or just go bald.
He's got to go bald because it's bald in the front and the back.
It's so bad. Just own it. Be bald. Wear a hoodie or something, even during game. I don't know. Put something on your head.
Yeah.
Wear a do-rag in the game.
Yeah, wear a do-rag.
So that's night one. I want to win this shit. I really do. Because I'm actually upset that I lost last week. I got to get to these 9 wins.
And Monday, there's a bunch of games. Then Tuesday, there's nothing.
This one's going to be tough. 5 players to combine for 150 points. That means I got to get 5 people to drop 30.
It's a big ask. Definitely Cam Thomas, though.
Right. So we're going to go AD, Cam Thomas.
I mean, LaMelo's been going crazy.
I got a LaMelo rare, so I'm fine with playing LaMelo. I like Giannis here.
Barrett's actually, I don't know. He's not in that class with those guys, but he's played really well this season so far.
And then potentially a Maxey.
Yeah, you could throw a Maxey too. I mean, I don't know when Embiid
Maxey or Luka.
I don't know if Embiid or George are going to be ready by then, though.
right? Isn't that that's Monday?
Yeah, so they're I think they're pretty close to returning.
Who are they facing? Philly, Phoenix. Oh yeah, he's guarded by Tyus Jones and Bradley Beal all night.
Beal might be hurt anyway.
And Beal might be hurt, so then he's guarded by less.
I think every team in the league play on a Monday night.
I kind of like RJ against Denver.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I mean, Barrett's got to be averaging close to 30 a game this season.
And there's always Ant-Man too, and I have a rare Ant-Man.
Right. You see how much RJ Barrett's averaging.
All right, so let me just put in RJ for now.
He's averaging 28.8.
Yeah, he's
in 4 games.
I got the averages listed.
Oh.
How about this one? 20 free throws with 12 three-pointers.
For Wednesday?
Yeah, that's for Wednesday. I'm definitely putting Trae Young in there.
You got Buddy Hield?
I'll do Buddy. Let me see. Hold on. Golden State. Yeah, Golden State's in this, so Buddy's getting played. He definitely gets the threes. Tatum could be a good play here.
I mean, he takes he shot really well from three, surprisingly, this season because he changed his shot.
And JB's been out a little bit, so who knows? Why was he out against Charlotte?
They said last night they said it was a hip injury, but it was the second night of a back-to-back against the Hornets, so I don't really put a whole lot of stock into that. Definitely not Butler.
Well, I mean, it's free throws.
Oh, free throw. I don't know why I thought threes.
It's free throws and threes.
Oh, free throws and okay, yeah. Well, he gets to the free throw line a bunch, yeah.
Damn, Pritchard's averaging 4 threes a game, and he's not even starting.
Yo, he's shooting damn near 45% from three. He's on fire this season.
Where's the Mavs here? Should I kick it to Clay against the Bulls, or the Bulls don't even give a shit? Like, what do you think I should do? Should I throw it to Levine on this one?
Yeah. Yeah, give it to Levine.
Give it to Levine?
Because Levine can get threes and free throws. Clay's not going to get a lot of free throws.
So do you think it's worth it to have 20 free throws? I don't think I need Jimmy for that.
Yeah, you should get somebody that can hit threes and free throws.
How about Hero instead?
Yeah.
I got a rare Hero. I got a rare Jimmy too, but
I was thinking Booker too, but Hero works.
Yeah, I think Hero's going to be good. I only got a common Booker, so I don't want to use Booker this early. I like to save him, but he's a great option here. He's like Tatum, 7 free throws, 3 threes. I love the balance. All right, next is 5 players for 35 boards.
Giannis, definitely.
Ayton's a great option here. Giannis, should I use Giannis for just a rebound night? Like, he's just such a better player than that, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like Denny, this is a night like I use Denny. He'll get me 5 to 7 rebounds.
How much does Giddey average? Giddey's a decent rebounder. Yeah, Giddey averages 8 rebounds a game.
Let me see this for a second. Jeremy Sohan starts, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to do Sohan. You said Giddey?
He averages 8 a game.
I feel like he could be good on an assist night, a random assist. I haven't looked at all the nights. That's also, we're kind of doing this blind where I don't know what's coming next. But I think Vooch is always a good play for boards.
Markkanen only averages 7.3 right now.
This is 30 right here. Ayton, Vooch, and Sohan, that adds to 30. Not saying it's going to happen, obviously.
Yeah.
But you think Collins could be a good play with Markkanen hurt?
Why, Markkanen's out?
So Markkanen did not play against Denver last night.
Oh, shoot.
And I think he was out another night or like questionable another night as well.
I guess Collins just doesn't get a lot of minutes.
Let me see.
But I guess Markkanen's out, he's going to get a lot more minutes.
Yeah, he still doesn't get a lot of minutes. You're right. He gets 20-something a night.
22.3 right now.
Yeah, right now that looks like I'm setting myself up for failure. But we'll see. We could come back to that rebound. As I said, I don't know what's coming ahead of me. I don't want to put in Wemby that night, and then later I need Wemby. So
that 5 right there seems good.
Right, it seems like I can make it. It's 35 boards. I think 35, like I said, Vooch, Sohan, and Ayton could get me 35 on a good night.
Yeah.
And then Denny always hustles, and Collins, hopefully with what's his name out. I should get a Walker Kessler, but I don't have Walker Kessler yet. All right, 45 field goals. This is crazy. All right, this is I gotta fuck.
Might have to use AD.
I know. AD was my first option here.
Giannis and AD get a bunch of field goals.
Right, they score twos. So does Jokic. I don't know if I should use Jokic though. Definitely use Ant Edwards because I haven't used him yet.
Shea
and Luka.
What about Cam Thomas?
I could do Cam Thomas. You're right. Who are they playing? Oh no, I don't like the way they match up against Boston. Boston doesn't foul.
Yeah.
They don't play drop. That's what Cam Thomas cooks everybody with is drop coverage.
What about Durant?
Durant could be a good play. You think I should save Luka or how about this?
I'd rather save Luka.
Durant? How about Brunson? Brunson's got to have a little comeback performance on the way. Knicks versus Milwaukee. I think he'll cook.
Yeah.
He'll cook. The last one is tough. I mean, I could do Maxey, but you said Embiid could be back by then, right?
I think so. I mean,
who are they playing?
I think they're both
the Lakers. I don't know the Lakers. I think Maxey could do something.
He could cook, yeah.
Right, like that's a game that usually the players get up for.
But if Embiid and George are back, then he's not going to score as much.
Right. Who are the Pelicans playing?
Magic.
I actually might take Zion here.
He makes a lot of field goals.
He does, and it's also against the Magic, who it's Wendell Carter and Paolo's out.
Right.
And who are you taking, Zion or Goga Patadze? Who's gonna win?
What about Zion or Mo Wagner?
Mo Wagner, but that's besides the point. We're talking about Goga.
Yeah, I'll take Zion in that matchup.
Me too. Oh, God, this one could be interesting. 35 points in the paint, 10 offensive rebounds. This is usually when I start going back and getting old players. Like this right here. This is a Wemby night. Points in the paint. Where's Wemby?
They don't let you use him.
It's amazing Cam Thomas scores more paint points than Wemby.
Yeah, Wemby be firing up the threes and bricking them.
Yep.
Zubats?
Yeah, Big Zoo is definitely coming in on this night. RJ looks actually great. What do I need? 35 paint points, and I think I could get that just from Zoo.
Might have to throw in Jared Allen.
Clax could be good, but I haven't seen a block night yet. Jared Allen or Mobley?
Jared Allen or Mobley. I mean, maybe Jared Allen because Mobley can score outside of the paint. I've liked what I've seen from Mobley this season. He's been putting the ball on the floor, getting these off balance buckets.
10 offensive rebounds though.
I like Allen in that one.
Allen over Clax, right? Because Clax's minutes are all over the place. He's fouling out of games, and he's been off the bench every game this season.
Yeah, all 5 games, and he's only averaging 21.6 minutes per game.
He's gotten ejected and fouled out. Like, it's not good for Clax. Ben Simmons starts over him right now. It's kind of weird. But Clax has played well in the 20 minutes. He's just been a little weird. Like, he's hacking on purpose. It looks like he's trying to get kicked out of games.
He's frustrated. Ben Simmons is starting over him. I'd be frustrated too.
Maybe that's really what it is. 5 blocks, 5 steals. I got to get a cheddar.
Right? So 5 blocks and 5 steals.
Yeah. I guess Jerry and Grant. Jeremy Grant. Jeremy.
Yeah. Shea?
Shea gets steals. Hold on. Wait, what do you mean? I got Jordan Poole for this. Where's the Wizards?
Excuse me.
The best defensive player in the league, 2.8 steals.
Damn. Just Shea average 1.8.
And then this other steal night. Oh no, Brooklyn. I would have put in Cam Thomas. Cam Thomas gets the steals. All right, so we already filtered by blocks. I don't think I need blocks anymore. Right, I got Gobert, I got Grant, and I got Brook Lopez. I need somebody else who could grab me a steal. Who would you trust, Fox or DeRozan?
Fox.
Or maybe PJ Washington. He gets blocks and steals.
What's Russ averaging?
Actually, I'm going J-Dub. Fuck what you heard. I'm going J-Dub.
Westbrook. Listen, Westbrook is averaging 2 steals per game.
He is. Oh, it's hard not to put PJ Washington in here, but this is what I'm going. 5 steals? That's going to be hard.
Give it to Russ. Come on.
I can't do Russ. I'm sorry.
Pause.
All right, 5 steals, 5 blocks. What else we got? 20 assists, 20 rebounds. This was like last week's first day. And I used the Lakers for – I just put the Lakers starting lineup in there. I put D'Lo, Austin Reeves, LeBron, and Rui, and I got it.
You put in Harden. Harden can get you like 14 or 15 on a good night.
Right, this is a really good night to use him. 20
Just
assists,
bonus.
use Chris Paul.
It's a bonus.
And then rebounds. Right, this is like a free win night.
Because you can get 10 and 10 from Sabonis right there.
I might put in one more rebounder just to get rebounds, and that's it. Like, this is like a throw Giddy in.
Gidler.
The Gidler. And then, should I just throw in Keldon Johnson? Just for the rebounds?
I guess.
Because I don't need any more assists, in my opinion. Literally, if I get 5-5-5, I win.
Yeah,
That's
Johnson.
all I need. 5 assists from Harden, 5 from CP3, 5 from Sabonis, 5 from Giddy. I feel like that's fine.
Johnson averages 6 boards a game.
Right. I got the rebounds at 6, 8. That's 14, 27, 31, 40. That's 40 boards.
And he's averaging a career low in assists at 0.7.
If anything, I don't even want to use Sabonis, but I feel like I'm later in the week where I could get away with it, and I still at least have Şengün. This could have been a good J-Dub night too, but I used J-Dub for the steals. Maybe Io just to have some cushion on the assists. I don't think I need cushion on the boards, right? Like Sabonis really gets 10 plus a night.
And Harden can rebound pretty well too.
Yeah. All right, I'm going with this. I'm going to just play Io.
And Giddy.
Right? And Giddy gets boards. I should be really safe there. That was 12. Oh no, that was 11. All right. So what's November 12th? 1:30. All right, I gotta play. See, that's why I probably should use Maxi earlier in the week while everyone's still hurt.
Sure.
This is a Luka night. This is a Booker night. And KD. How we like them apples? Because regardless, they get 25 a night, and one of them usually goes off.
Yeah, so you're, one of those guys are definitely going to get buckets.
I really think I should swap Maxi in earlier in the week, but that's just me. Like, I think, where was it? Right here? This is where I think I should put Maxi. Like, Maxi over RJ.
Yeah, throw him in and take out Barrett.
All right. And then this is a night potentially I could play Barrett. Yeah, Barrett against Milwaukee. I could flip that.
Milwaukee doesn't play defense. Perfect.
Right. And their paint, like you said, the paint defense has been dog shit this year. And that's what RJ does. He attacks the paint. So, yeah, we're swapping. Yeah, swapping RJ for Maxi. Boom. Then we go to 12, and we throw RJ into this night. It's sad. I don't even use Damian Lillard for anything anymore.
Boy, chips.
Like, I just don't trust Dame Lillard as far as I could throw him. This one I might use Dame Lillard, especially against Detroit. Fouls drawn. This is definitely Dame Lillard, Cam Thomas. Who's Brooklyn playing? Boston? Fuck. He doesn't draw fouls against Boston. Zion, Ja. DeRozan, maybe? I don't. Oh. It's just scrolling for no reason right now. Hold on. I don't know who could go here. JB? Because JB's not going to be hurt by then, right?
I wouldn't think so. Unless there's something about his hip we don't know.
True. But this is right here. This is 25. 25 drawn, 25 made. I wish Trae Young was playing this night, but it just is what it is. All right, and I think we got 2 more nights left. 25 field goals, 15 assists. Okay, what's this going to be? This is a bad night.
Oh, bullshit.
This is a really bad night not to have any of these guys.
I guess Markkanen.
Right? Like, Markkanen for field goals, but I need assists, and I shouldn't do this guy for that. But
Either of those guys get much assists.
Right. Clay isn't a playmaker. PJ isn't a play. Yeah, this night's dog shit.
Mm-hmm.
I think I should scrap this night. This might be a skipper.
You could do that?
Yeah, just leave it blank.
Oh.
I leave it blank. I take the loss. We'll see what happens there, but I really don't think I should play for that. But it could be a free night too. Like, if I think about it this way, those nights where I'm like, oh, I need Luka. This is a free fucking win if I just play Luka. 15 assists. Like if I keep Kyrie and Luka for that night, I win. Somewhat. How about this one?
Somewhat.
25 3-pointers attempted, 15 made. What the fuck? It better be Ant Edwards here. Yeah, Ant Edwards, number 1 guy in the league.
Jalen Green is going to get the shots up.
Low key, I want Cam Thomas for this night because it's at New York. Take Halliburton here.
Chips.
Ooh. This could be a good Buddy Hield night too, but maybe Curry's back. Isn't Curry like not that hurt?
They said he was out indefinitely, but I don't know.
Really?
Maybe they just.
Then he's more hurt than I thought.
I think he could be back by then.
Maybe Donovan Mitchell will be a good play here.
Jesus, Halliburton shooting 24% from 3 this season.
Yeah, I don't think he could do that for much longer. That's why I believe he's gonna figure it out. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go Donovan Mitchell here. Actually,
he's always a good option for 3.
Right. Even though against the Bulls, I don't trust anybody when they play the Bulls. Those nights are the worst nights for everybody. I don't know what the Bulls do, but like historically, everyone just has a bad night against the Bulls. $15 threes. Fuck.
No defense is at the bottom of the league.
Maybe I'm thinking of just previous seasons. Yeah, like this night, do I have any wiggle room for assists? Is there other people I left out? See, then this is how I really go through it. Then I go back and I go, is there anybody I could sub in for Kyrie? Like, do you think I could do Jose Alvarado tonight? Pause. Since CJ's out, since Murray's out, it really is Alvarado.
Yeah, try.
Let's try it out. Let's see so we could fill out every day. I mean, it's either that or Franz. I don't think Franz is a bad option either.
Alvarado does average 4.3, though.
A little bit more, but that's with everybody out, and I don't know. I just don't know if I actually trust Alvarado's assist numbers, or should I trust the guy getting paid like $300 million, Franz Wagner?
That's the question.
Right? Like, I feel like I should go with Franz. But CJ's out. Murray's out. They have to play Alvarado, but they play through Ingram and Zion so much. I think I'm going to go with Franz here.
All right.
Yeah, I'm going to go Franz. He's the one getting the big bucks. He should be producing. So, also, we got to look for the play that we did Luka so I could win the other night. When did I use Luka? There, I used him here in the 130 night. Who else could fill in the Luka? JB. JB should be back, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't even use Cat for nothing. You see, this is how I know I'm missing out on something. When I still see Cat, like Cat should be good some nights, you know?
Yeah.
Bodega Cat.
Yeah, you could use it for something.
Here's the playing night. Okay. So this is the night. If I put Luka, Kyrie, I get the assists. I get the field goals made. I get the field goals made with Colin Sexton. Markkanen should be back by then. Let me double check his injury. I don't think it's serious. Utah, Markkanen. Oh, of course. Markkanen. It says back. Yeah, it says sore back. It says day to day. So I'm going to go Markkanen here. And then maybe PJ? Or should I go Clay?
PJ, Clay. Go with Clay.
Clay. Okay. All right, see? Filled out the whole lineup.
Sure.
Is there any night for the Knicks? I still feel like it's weird just to not have Cat there. Free throws and threes. I wouldn't put Cat any above these guys. Every time the Knicks play, I gotta look. Because he's such a good stat leader and stuff. And I mean, he put up 70 points. When was that? Last year?
Yeah.
He dropped a 70 ball. So, like, should I put Cat over Grant? Does he get blocks and steals like that better than Grant? I don't know. Because Grant's been on the bullshit sometimes.
And hurt.
Right? He really has been. So it's hard to just trust this guy. And then it's Cat versus the Pacers. He should chew Miles Turner.
Pause.
Pause.
Yeah, he's averaging 22 and 11. 0.6 blocks for Towns.
You did say I should go with somebody else here, right? I picked J-Dub and you wanted Russ for the steals?
He's averaging 2 a game, so.
I know, but how many minutes?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about the minutes.
The only reason why he's averaging so much is he got 5 steals last night.
Bro, don't worry about that.
In the most minutes he's played all season while also shooting 2 for 11.
Don't worry. We're not talking about shooting numbers, are we?
I guess not.
Talking about shooting numbers right now. It doesn't matter that he's shooting 23% from the field.
It doesn't.
Can't believe I'm saying that.
Fuck, man. Nah, I can't do it.
Or Shea. Are you using Shea on another night?
You think I should do Shea over J-Dub? I'm not even using Shea. See, this is where I know I fucked up. I knew I missed someone. I missed a couple people. If Shea's not being used, De'Aaron Fox isn't being used. Either the nights are just off and it doesn't matter when they play.
I think Shea averages more steals than Jalen Williams.
Right. So I think I should put Shea over him. And Shea blocks shots.
Yeah. Underrated defender.
Definitely. Okay, so
let me see how many steals he averages. Williams averages 2 steals per game though.
Yeah, J-Dub's tied with Russ. So I don't think it's that bad of a thing. But yeah, I'm just gonna go Shea here.
I feel like Shea's a better shot blocker, but I don't know.
Yeah. You know who would be really good this night was Suggs, but I need his assists. All right, this is what we're going with. Where is it? I forgot where was it? All right, here, yeah. For steals, we're going basically banking on Shea and Jordan Poole, and then for blocks, it's the rest. But hopefully Shea produces. Man, this is gonna be rough. All right, that's what we're going with.
Let's do it.
Yep. Yo, what's good, Hawk? I just seen your comment.
What do we got? 1 viewer now?
2.
Oh shit.
2. Hawk and Mom.
Oh, come on. That's all we need.
Right? Yelling into the void. That's all we're doing. Well, how about the start that the Cavs have had? You know, Celtics 6-1 without Porzingis coming off a championship, but Kenny Atkinson 7-0. It's looking pretty good, and this is why he left the Nets. This is why they fired him, because he stood by his guns and said, "Jaren Allen is my big man." Literally, that's why Kevin Durant had him fired, and Joe Tsai fired Kenny Atkinson, because he didn't want to start DeAndre Jordan. He's like, "I'm not a vibes guy. I'm a win basketball games guy, and I'm not going to start DeAndre Jordan over Jared Allen."
He was winning too much.
He was.
And
And so,
Evan Mobley has been great. Have you seen, he's putting the ball on the floor and scoring on his own.
that's because Kenny Atkinson is building the offense to do that.
And
We've seen Evan Mobley for the past 3 years never be given the rock other than just on a post up.
and Sam Merrill still like
Sam Merrill's killing, but I really like Garland. He's such a good point guard to me. I want to know what happens with them, because it seems like something's going to change. They're going to trade for a wing. They're going to end up with Ingram, Jimmy Butler. They're going to end up with somebody.
Yeah, I could see Garland being a trading piece.
Maybe a Jeremy Grant. Not even necessarily trading Garland. You could be trading Garland or Donovan Mitchell, but I think it could be one of the bigs. Does Kenny Atkinson love Jared Allen so much that they trade Mobley for the big piece?
I don't know. I can't trade Mobley.
You wouldn't trade Mobley? You'd trade Jared Allen instead?
Yeah, a heartbeat.
So, to that, Jared Allen re-signed his contract this year and could be traded one day before the trade deadline. So I think that's actually what's going to happen, just being real. And they never allow Kenny Atkinson and Jared Allen to stay together, because clearly they win too much. So they're going to trade Jared Allen by the end of the season, or by the trade deadline. Who do they get? I don't know. But that means Mobley goes to the 5, and they need a 4 and a 3. They need wings. Who's that going to be? You know, who's on the move? Who could possibly get traded for? I know Lauri Markkanen is stuck. He can't be traded this year because of the way he re-signed his contract. Not eligible to be traded. So maybe Jeremy Grant. Could they trade for Giannis somehow? Would you trade Mobley and picks for Giannis if he wants out?
That'd be nuts.
It would be nuts. What else could you really do? Could you trade? I said Ingram, Jimmy Butler. Who's another wing that could be traded?
Jeremy Grant.
Well, yeah, we said Jeremy Grant could be there. Do you make a move on maybe MPJ or Aaron Gordon if they want to change it up a little bit in Denver, because Denver's kind of been weird lately? You know, like, what could be the possible move? But then if you're trading with Cleveland, as I just said, you're getting Jared Allen. Does the Nuggets need Jared Allen?
Yeah, I could definitely the Cavs making a move, because with the team they have now, I just don't think they're going to win it. They're a really good team on paper, but it's something about them that's just not enough for them to win, really go far in the playoffs.
If I was actually the Nuggets, I would contemplate a trade. I don't know about trading MPJ or Aaron Gordon, but trying to get some sort of trade to get a really good big behind Jokic, because the only way the Nuggets lose is when Jokic needs a break.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? Really... It's the plus or minus every single season for the past 5-6 years. It's been dog shit because Jokic needs a breather. And every single time he gets off the court, they go minus 20, and they're down 20 all of a sudden. So if you have Jared Allen back there, it's something different, or whatever.
Yeah, even in the finals, even when they won the finals, they didn't really have a backup big that you could rely on.
Right, and I think that's their biggest downfall, is that Jokic needs to be out there at all times.
Yeah,
and the second you get him in foul trouble or whatever, they're done. I don't see a big on that team. Zeke Naji, he's going to save the day.
And the two guys they brought off the bench were Bruce Brown and Jeff Green, and they're not even with the team anymore.
They're not with the team no more. You got Peyton Watson. I like Christian Brown.
I like Peyton Watson too.
Bruh, did you see him dunk on Gobert?
Yep. And go.
How was that a double technical, by the way?
I guess because he was screaming at him.
He just walked up and flexed, which is a taunt, but let's be real.
And he was screaming at him.
Gobert, screaming doesn't matter.
I know,
Gobert
but
literally swung and missed and then grabbed his neck and pulled him down.
Yeah, but Brown did it before. I mean, Brown was flexing.
He didn't touch him.
No, but I'm saying that's what you're going to get a technical for that in today's NBA. When you do the flex and you scream in a guy's face, even though it's ridiculous that you're giving a technical, you are going to get it.
So what about this? What about when Nick Claxton hit Dyson Daniels in the side of the head the other night, and then Dyson Daniels ran up to him? What happened? Claxton got ejected, and that was it.
Yeah, but I
know it's a little different because Dyson Daniels was fouled. He was like the victim of it.
Yeah.
But in reality, bro, he just dunked on somebody, and this dude tried to beat him up because he got dunked on. I think those are two different things.
Right, but I mean, Christian Brown did scream at him and flex on him.
The thing is Gobert, I think he did something deserving of a double technical.
Because he got
All
dunked.
they did was they did offsetting technicals so nothing happened.
Right.
Which is ridiculous. He gets a crazy bang on the best defensive center of all time, according to voters.
Mm-hmm.
4 defensive MVP or player of the years. And you just got dunked on by some random white guy, Christian Brown. And like, he flexed on you, but clearly you assaulted the man. Like, that's the difference to me, is how is someone getting punched and thrown and grabbed in the neck the same as a taunt?
Yeah, I mean, I think he probably should have gotten 2 technicals.
There should have been something that delineated the two, because saying that's the same crime is insane.
Yeah, so Gobert should have gotten ejected, or he should have gotten a technical foul, and Brown should have not gotten a technical foul. Because you're right, it isn't the same.
It's not the same at all. And one guy took it to the next level. One guy was an entertainer and doing something for the fans and the environment and the game and to bring energy. And Gobert made a selfish-ass move and tried to hurt someone. Like, right. They did 2 different things. One is doing something good, coming up with a highlight reel that they could put on commercials and sell. Rudy Gobert is now ruining the product and almost hurt the player that just made an incredible move, creating the entertainment that we all watch and pay for.
Yeah, like, not all.
That's the difference to me. That guy was entertaining and bringing up the brand of the NBA, while Gobert was bringing down the brand of the NBA with what he did.
Right.
And Gobert has historically done dumb shit throughout the NBA. He shouldn't be given the benefit of the doubt or something like that. He gave the world COVID. He ended the NBA season with coughing on every mic and thinking shit was funny. Like, constantly, Rudy Gobert has done the worst thing in the moment. Every single time, he's chosen to do the worst possible thing. He should not be rewarded for that behavior.
Yeah, he should have gotten 2 technicals, probably, and an ejection.
Straight up ejected. The fact that you just said offsetting penalties, Timberwolves ball. What?
Yeah,
that's Timberwolves ball after he just fucking pushed somebody to the ground by their throat and then tried to put him in a headlock after? That's the guy that he should have the ball next possession? Fuck you. That's how I feel. Like, honestly, watching it, it was ridiculous. That is like the worst thing you could set as a standard. And that's what I've been saying. The NBA, you got to be consistent. They've set bad standards from everything. Jackson Hayes, all the way to whatever we've been talking about since literally the first minute of this pod, has been the inconsistency of the NBA throughout. And it's frustrating.
I agree.
Joel Embiid's being investigated for resting and taking the initial part of the season off.
And he just shoved a reporter, too, last night.
I didn't even see that.
Yeah. I guess the reporter brought up his brother who passed away in an article.
Oh.
So I guess it's not the worst thing. I mean, that Embiid did that, and people were agreeing with Embiid.
I'll have to. They said Embiid didn't punch the reporter; he just shoved him, and then the shove is like someone flying.
Because everybody thought Embiid punched him, but I guess he just shoved him. There's no video of it, but
no one's seen it.
No, I haven't seen a video on it. I would think I'd seen it by now if there was if there was an actual video.
Man, look, if you write this, you got to be accountable to the player. This isn't talking about what Joel Embiid is doing on the court. This is ridiculous. It's worth getting physical with a dude. I don't know. I want way more details on how this whole thing escalated. So this is what the reporter wrote. I'll share the screen right now.
In all honesty, maybe I read it wrong. I didn't think it was that crazy what the reporter said.
Joel Embiid consistently points to the birth of his son Arthur as a major inflection point in his basketball career. So it like made him a man. He matured. That's from that sentence right there. That's what I'm getting. We'll go sentence by sentence where it falls off a cliff. He often says that he wants to be great, to leave a legacy for the boy named after his little brother, who tragically died in an automobile accident when Joel Embiid was in his first year as a 76er. So he named his son after his brother who died his rookie year. And then says, well, in order to be great at your job, you first have to show up to work. Embiid has been great at just the opposite. Now in his 11th season, he consistently has been in poor condition. This poor conditioning apparently seems to have delayed his debut this season.
Yeah.
Embiid won't play in Wednesday's opener or the next two games.
I don't see where he's,
He definitely like it's a weave, and it's not a good weave. I will say that it's weird. The angles here, I'm not really understanding. Is he saying like he's basically doing a poor job representing his brother, his dead brother?
I guess you could look at it like that. Yeah.
That's hard to put in writing, as like not even just as like a hot take, hot mic, whatever. To put this in writing and say he's not, it's like it is kind of saying like.
Yeah, I didn't really look at it like that, but yeah, I could see how people see it like that.
He named his son. It's almost like he's saying he's not a man of his word, even down to his family. It's like he's saying he plays for his family, and it is worded in a way that none of this is necessarily relevant, and the two paragraphs don't really go with each other.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
he's saying Joel Embiid constantly points to the birth of his son, and it's named after his brother. Like put this in the shoes of like you were named after your uncle, your dad's little brother who passed away, right?
Mm-hmm.
And imagine if somebody was just like, Bob, you're not representing your brother who was a Marine and named after you. You know what I'm saying? Like it kind of is like saying like you're not a man of your word, you're not living up to your brother's values, you're not living like it's a little disrespectful. Like if you personalize this, it's in a way that I wouldn't like to be talked about or anything like that.
Yeah, because I guess they're kind of making the connection to, the whole family thing, and they're saying, yeah, I don't know.
I'm trying to look at this in a way that these words should never be paired together. You shouldn't say, look, he claims to be a man of his word and a family man, but in reality, he doesn't show up. Like it's kind of almost calling him like a deadbeat in a sense, but not a deadbeat, but like somebody who doesn't show up for his people, but claims to be for his people. Like he's saying like he's not a man of his word. His actions show one thing that he's not, but he claims to be a good person, but his actions say otherwise. I just don't think you should be bringing up dead relatives when talking about basketball.
There was really no reason to.
Yeah, this really is like on another level. And who wrote it?
Potential altercation between Joel Embiid and a reporter. What could you share with us?
Yeah, so the basic gist of it is,
let's hear. This reporter was in the room. Let's hear, because this is like breaking news to me. And you already know me. I 100% have been hard on Joel Embiid. I have never talked about this because this is not something that I ever want to dive into when talking about somebody. I talk about how he has constantly been reckless on the court and has hurt people. And I don't appreciate that shit. But I've never said I would never connected these two. This really is like a weird thing to say. Because I've dragged Joel Embiid in the mud, talking
But
about how he hurts other players. He's been reckless. He's been super selfish and a big crybaby. That's the reason why he hurt Mitchell Robinson, and Mitchell Robinson is still out to this day. And that's somebody who doesn't get max contracts. There is no safety net for Mitchell Robinson. He didn't even play in college. Like, this is a guy who basically got drafted out of high school, and you purposely hurt him because you thought you got fouled on a three when the hand is part of the ball once you shoot a ball from the three-point line. So you can't even be – he got fouled, but he didn't even really get fouled. So –
But that's on the court, though.
Right, that's on the court. And that's what I'm saying. He's been a dirty player on the court, but I've never said he's supposed to be a man of his word because he named his son after his dead brother. Like,
Right.
that
You
doesn't
go
even
to
make
the
sense.
locker room. Joel is seated in there. Marcus Hayes, who
Me too.
everyone knows was on Joel's radar this week.
And his name is Marcus Hayes. So let's look that up. Marcus Hayes, 76ers. Can you see my screen?
No.
No?
I'll just look up.
Share this tab. Okay.
I can
So
look
this
up.
is Marcus Hayes. He looks like a middle-aged man. Interesting.
Who may never report for the 76ers again.
But this is also, the people they hire in sports media. They want to keep hiring people with fucking weird ass opinions and shit, and who kind of clearly have something against the players in some weird way that you would talk about someone's dead relatives. Yeah, like this is a mess. So all right, let's hear the rest of this. That's Marcus Hayes. Wow. Right. This right here too. This is also a thing that I have against the media because right here, he just said, Joel Embiid said, don't ever fucking talk about my family again. Don't ever do this shit. Hold on. Let's listen to the exact words real quick. Let me get an exact quote. If you ever talk about my family again, we're going to have real problems. You're not talking about the court. You're talking about something else. He said, don't ever talk to my family again. Listen to this next line. They go back and forth. Joel Embiid even gave him an opportunity to apologize. That's what I just heard, right?
Mm-hmm.
Don't ever talk about my family. Don't ever talk to me like that again. Talk to me like a man next time. And it says they go back and forth. That means Marcus Hayes, the media member, the journalist, argued with them after the fact. He said, don't ever do this to me again. That I've really felt disrespected. You crossed the fucking line. And you know what Marcus Hayes goes? Don't fucking tell me how to do my job. Some bullshit like that. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like he defended his stance after he was told, listen, you offended me and my family. I really don't appreciate that shit. So this guy definitely deserves everything that fucking came to him. Because it sounds like Joel Embiid gave him a way out. It sounded like he said, don't ever talk about it again. I'm probably not going to like you, but this is where it ends. We're never going to talk about this again. We might go our separate paths, but this is it. We don't got beef no more. You're just dead to me. Like that type of thing. And it sounds like Marcus Hayes took it to another level. And let's listen to it more. But yeah, it sounded like he even had an opportunity to apologize and be a man and say, you know, I did fuck up. I did misspeak. I don't even know how my editor allowed me to post this. Honestly, looking back at it, this was terrible journalism, and I promise to do better next time, and I apologize to you and the Embiid family. Like, there was a way out of this, too, from what it sounds like.
Embiid gave him a chance.
He did. Hold on. My bad. I still got it. I got to share it again. Yeah, it really sounded like even Embiid gave him an opportunity to say, I fucked up. And this guy stood on his stance.
Talk about my family. Don't bring them into this. You want to talk to me like a man and talk to me about basketball. That's different. But if you ever talk about my family again, we're going to have real problems. They go kind of back and forth. And at some point, let's say 90 seconds to 2 minutes into this back and forth.
2 minutes. That means they're arguing. That means this guy had no like feelings towards Embiid.
Yeah, he didn't understand it.
He didn't understand it at all.
Well, shoves him. Team security
Hold
steps in, and we're going to have real problems. They go kind of back and forth. And at some point, let's say 90 seconds to 2 minutes into this back and forth, Joel shoves him. Team security steps in. Players kind of surround the situation, and everyone kind of dispersed. During all this, am standing directly behind Joel because we were supposed to be talking to Tyrese Maxey post game, and Tyrese was just kind of sitting there like, what the hell do I do kind of thing. And I think it's been a what the hell do I do for every single other person in the immediate orbit immediately after. So that's kind of just what it is. But a lot of animosity there. And it seems like for Joel that this is not the first time that Marcus has rubbed him the wrong way. I think probably could have told that from what we heard from him on Friday during his presser, the fact that.
So it's also personal because they just said they didn't like each other even before he wrote this article.
Yeah, so this has been building.
So this has been building. This guy, it came at his life, his brother's life, his son's life, and argued with him 2 minutes after the fact that he said, listen, I feel really offended. I don't even want you in here, but you're still in here and I need this deaded. And then he's like, no, you are a bad representation of your dead brother. Like, what the fuck?
Great.
Yeah, this guy does
went out of
not
his way
deserve
to
media credentials.
say what he did and say it as forcefully as he did. But as far as I know now, everyone has kind of dispersed and no more fireworks tonight that I'm aware of. So that's as best as I can summarize it. That's what happened.
So it sounds like that whole I don't know, altercation. That whole thing played out in like the span of like how long were they arguing? How long was the back and forth?
I would say it was probably like about 2 to 3 minutes because Joel got, I think Marcus went in there with like that old, reporter or writer's creed of like, well, if you say something about somebody, you have to actually show your face in the locker room. He did at one point offer an apology that Joel just simply did not accept, right?
I don't know. I don't know how real this apology was. I don't know. From what he said in the beginning to right now, it is a little contrary to how he presented it.
Right.
Because he said, don't ever say this stuff again. Right? And that he said that multiple times, again. So that means this is the last straw, which means Embiid didn't want to push him or take it to the next level until I believe this guy brought it to there. Even if he says he apologized or tried to, it was probably half-assed or something because it sounds like, yeah, he said
Right. And
again.
Again, I think it comes down to, in his view, from what I can tell, this is not, it has gone beyond basketball, right? When you invoke Arthur's name, both Arthurs, Arthur that inspired his son's name and his son, when you invoke that name, that's crossing a bright red line for Joel, and he made that abundantly clear.
And for those that don't know, Arthur is or was Joel's younger brother who died in a car accident back in 2016, a little while ago. And then he named his
a
son
while
after
ago
him.
now, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's someone who he was very close with, who, Joel talks a lot about. He regrets that he was not home when Arthur passed away, because he passed back in Cameroon. And
Oh yeah, this hits real deep. That reporter was saying he doesn't come to games, like he didn't show up for his dead brother. Now it's all coming. That's fucking nuts. This dude. Yeah, this guy should not have an NBA credential. Straight up. There's no way
Joel
around
was
this.
here,
There's no way around.
chasing his dream, trying to become a basketball player, blah, 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 blah. And that was, Derek, you've talked to Joel about this, and many people have reported on this. He, at certain points, contemplated just quitting basketball and was very distraught about. So it's not surprising at all that he would be this emotional over, his name being brought up in this way. Certainly surprising that it escalated to the degree that it did. Although that makes it sound like there was like a fight, right? It was really more, he yelled at him for a couple minutes, gave him a shove, and then that was kind of it. So we have to parse words right now, right? Like the language we use is important because this all just happened. And
right. And he also doesn't want to incriminate Joel Embiid for how hard he pushed him or anything else like that. He doesn't want the story to get skewed. He doesn't want to be the guy that fucked up whatever the narrative that they have to say happened there.
People will latch on to whatever is said about
latch on to whatever is said.
So that's all I got, I think.
As we are right now, latching on to what he says. I will say it sounded like at first, no matter what Embiid was saying, never say this shit again. Don't ever fucking do this again. You crossed the line. This was too much, way too much, whatever. Yeah, I honestly think if this guy was 100% apologetic, it wouldn't have came to this. I'm still under that mindset, and I think that's true. Holy shit, though.
Yeah, that was deep.
Yeah. This is fucked up. I didn't know about this at all. Yeah. I don't normally ride for Embiid this hard because typically in most situations on the court, Embiid's been wrong. But not today. Marcus Hayes, he should have threw him out the fucking locker room like Jazzy Jeff. Like Uncle Phil did Jazzy Jeff. Just fucking throw him. That's what you needed to hear. That should have been the only noise coming out of the Philly locker room was Jazzy Jeff, Marcus Hayes, flying out. That's it. That's all I want to hear from Marcus Hayes the rest of my life. I just want to hear him getting thrown out a door. That's fucked up. Yeah, beyond fucked up. So Joel Embiid, we got you back. We got you back today. But you got to be back on the court.
You got to get back on the court.
You got to get back on the court, but we got you back. Because that dude, he definitely brought up something that has nothing to do with you being on the court. Yeah. You not being on the court is probably more just along the lines of he's not been in the best basketball shape for the past 6-7 years, which has caused a bunch of naggy injuries, which has caused him to be extra careful about when he plays and how hard he plays. But conflating the fact that his brother, no, never. That's ridiculous.
Shouldn't have brought that up.
Yeah. Anything on the UFC? You said it was an uneventful night. If I look back to what it like the card, 5-round decision, 5-round decision, 5-round decision, third round submission at the end, on Lipsky's fight. Finally, a knockout on the first fight of the night.
Yeah, the Brandon Moreno fight was pretty good. I mean, Moreno beat the hell out of Albazi, and Albazi looked like he hasn't been in there, I think. Well, both guys haven't really been in the octagon for a while. And then Albazi had neck surgery earlier this year. But, yeah, Moreno looked like he just needed that time off, and he looked like a champion. last night, and it looked like Albazi didn't really belong in there with him. I mean, Moreno looked levels ahead of
From
Albazi.
the clips I seen, the little short clips are like, oh, this was a good combo, this was that.
And
Moreno looked really good, and yeah, it looked like he was out of his class.
Yeah, Moreno never scored a knockdown in this one, but he buckled Albazi 2 or 3 times at least, where he was on spaghetti legs. So now he's right there, right back in title talks. I mean, because you have Alexandre Pantoja is fighting that Japanese guy. I forget his name. The Kai, I don't know how to say his name.
I got it.
But he's getting a title shot in his first fight in the UFC, which I've never heard of. I've never heard of a guy in his first fight in the UFC gets a title shot.
Who's getting that?
Alexandre Pantoja is facing this Asian guy.
He's fighting an Asian guy. Who is
this Asian guy is getting his first title shot. I mean, his first fight in the UFC is a title shot.
That's why we don't know him. What fight circuit is he coming from?
I don't even. It's crazy. Right, he's getting
Asian guy. Let me see.
Well, look at Pantoja's next opponent or whatever. They might be fighting
Kai Azakura.
Yeah.
Let me look up his Tapology. He's 21-4. And he looks like Bruce Lee.
That's why they're fighting in December.
Look at hold on. Crap, I did stop sharing. I meant to switch. Here. Look at the striations. Tell me, Bruce Lee was built like this.
That's why they're getting him.
Oh bullshit. Oh my god. This is the guy they're bringing in. Oh my god, Pantoja got no chance. Now I really don't know what this guy could do, but he last weighed in at 133, so that means he could get down. He could reach 135.
But it's at
133.
But it's at 125.
Oh, it's at 125.
Flyweight.
You're right. It's not 135.
Yeah, so we got to see if he can actually make the weight.
Yeah, that's interesting. And he's 31.
But I would think they think he can. I mean, if they're going to bring him in the UFC in his first fight in the UFC as a title fight, I would think they're pretty confident in him making weight.
Huh.
Yeah, so. But Moreno's right there for a title fight.
Lost to Pantoja, a guy that beat this guy. Yeah, I seen this guy's name.
Oh,
Cape, or however you pronounce it. I recognized his name, and he lost to Cape, and then he got knocked out by this guy. Interesting. Yeah, I would just say Kai Azakura is getting knocked out.
All right.
Because your first fight in the UFC should not be against the champion.
Yeah, it's strange to me.
Especially when the champion beat a guy who just beat him outside of the UFC.
Right.
I don't know. It's a little weird. It is weird because usually you could follow UFC math. MMA math. If rock beats paper, paper beats scissors, usually it's something like that. Like some matchups are bad, but I'll have to go look up that fight and see who this guy Kai Azakura is because I don't know who he is at all.
Yeah, so that's kind of strange to me. Aaron Blanchfield beat Rose last night,
which was crazy.
I thought the first 2 rounds. I thought the first round was close. I gave it to Rose. I thought the second round Rose won, and then. Blanchfield had a lot of control time. It took her down. She had a lot of control time in the 3rd and 5th. And the
That's
fourth,
how we figured it was going to be won if she did win.
And the 4th round was pretty close, I thought. But Rose just looked gassed, honestly, like in the championship rounds, which is kind of surprising because she trains at elevation. She typically has great 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 cardio, but she looked exhausted in the 4th and 5th round. But maybe that was just Blanchfield on top of her, being on top down, and she got exhausted. So that puts Blanchfield right back in title talks now, because you would think this would be the fight that would propel Namajunas to a title fight with Shevchenko, because I think it's gonna be Manon Furio against Shevchenko next, and then I think Blanchfield is right behind her. So that was a tough loss for Rose. Then Jazz Tavicius, she just took her down. She really beat the hell out of her late in that first round too.
A Lipsky fight?
Yeah, I thought they could have stopped the fight at the end of the first round just from the strikes, but I guess they weren't damaging enough. But then she got her with the Darce choke. The fight before that Dustin Stoltzfus guy, he took Barrios down early on in that first round, and then Barrios got up, and then he just started throwing bombs. Barrios just started throwing bombs against Dustin, and then Dustin got him with the clean left and slept him. Not a TKO. He slept him.
He slept him. I gotta go see this.
Yeah, he controlled most of the first round.
Stoltzfus. How do you say his name?
Stoltzfus.
Stoltzfus.
Yeah, so he controlled most of the round, and then Barrios finally got up, and then he knocked him out because Barrios was just kind of throwing these bombs.
Yeah.
He was excited that he got up and he was off the canvas, and then got a little too excited.
All right, here, let me pull this up. I looked up Stoltzfus.
Yeah, see, so I mean, he had a submission attempt too.
So he presses off the cage. Oh, he got hyped. He's like, "Oh yeah, I'm up. I'm up."
And then Stoltzfus just got him with the left. I mean, he was throwing bombs, Barrios, and then it was a right hand. My fault. It was a right. And then he had the two massive follow-up punches, but that one right hand is what really got him. It really only took one punch. He didn't need those.
It looked like they were so tired. They didn't have much. Do you know why the punch hurt so bad? He bounced off the cage.
He probably was tired, yeah.
These punches weren't doing too much. He didn't have much left. Look.
But it was.
Look, these punches, that right hand, if anything, look at this right hand that he lands. He's still fine. He gets hit with the left. He's still there. I think the left definitely dizzied him. That left did nothing, but he bounces off the cage with the right. And you just come back with that spring.
Yeah.
And it gives you all that force.
That hand was clean, though. That one really.
Oh, yeah. The left hand was clean, definitely had him, and he was like trying to hold on. And then he bounces off the cage, boom, with all that momentum.
Yeah, and then the Sahibi fight, he was beating the hell out of Pedros Munoz. Munoz looked really old last night. He had a big welt under his eye. Yeah, he beat the hell out of Munoz. The Charles Jourdain fight, that was his first fight at bantamweight in the UFC, so that was cool. He got him with the guillotine choke. And I thought he had won the first round anyway. And everything else was pretty boring, to be honest.
I know, even Romanov, a heavyweight, it goes 3 rounds. Decision.
Yeah, he had a lot of control time, but he looked really tired in the 3rd round. But he seemed like he was kind of playing possum. He had his arms down, was kind of moving his body around.
He was trying to get a finish on this guy.
Yeah, Nascimento wasn't really throwing enough. He wasn't really that aggressive.
Yeah.
But yeah, it wasn't that exciting of a card. And then next week, it's Magny versus Prates.
And we know that. Prate's gonna sleep him.
Yeah, he slept everybody he's fought in the UFC.
Neil Magny should not beat this guy.
And then Garbrandt is the co-main event.
Garbrandt against who?
Cody Garbrandt against Miles Johns.
And
John's been in the UFC for a while.
Could be an interesting matchup.
After that, there really isn't. There's not a lot on this card. Yeah, there's not a lot on this card, next week's card. But then the week after that, it's Jones versus Miocic.
That's a good card.
Yeah, so it's Jones versus Stipe, Oliveira versus
And
Chandler.
we're gonna miss that one. We might try to go, do a live show.
But I
Me
think,
and you when you're out here.
but it said at the festival, it's curfew is 11 p.m. ish.
What do you mean?
Oh wait, I was thinking. You know what I was thinking? I forgot about the times. Oh, so we're definitely gonna miss. We're gonna miss. Yeah, we're gonna miss that.
We're gonna miss watching it for sure.
Because I was thinking 11 p.m. ish. If we're in Massachusetts,
Right.
we could drive home and maybe make it. Damn,
No.
I realized that. All right,
Yeah.
we'll have to.
We'll have to watch the highlights. We'll have to catch the full fight in a month when they
Yep.
put it on YouTube.
Right?
That sucks.
Yeah, I just thought. I just thought of that. The time switch. Damn. Oh well. We already know Jones is gonna win.
Yeah. He
I'll-
should. And I mean, Chael put out a video saying Stipe is not going to make it out of the first round.
I can see that. I could see it. Stipe hasn't been in the octagon.
So, do you think Stipe has the advantage? Where is Stipe's advantage, if there was one?
I guess boxing.
It'd be on the feet?
Yeah, I mean because Stipe's not gonna. Stipe can't take down John Jones. He can't get in a grappling matchup against John Jones.
He just lost a grappling match to Ngannou.
Yeah, I mean you can't. You can't
If he
try.
lost a grappling match to Ngannou, what is he going to do to lose to an All-American like John Jones?
Yeah, to a guy who's been wrestling all his life. You can't.
Right. He literally was a collegiate wrestler. So if you can't beat Ngannou, who is not even a trained fighter growing up, like I don't know. I really don't know.
Yeah. I guess if you're able to keep it on the feet and try and get in a boxing match. But I mean, John Jones has. I mean,
John Jones is just his reach is so crazy.
Yeah, I mean, John Jones isn't particularly like an amazing boxer, but he's got the elbows, he's got the kicks, he can
Yeah, he's
stomp.
got the Muay Thai and kickboxing. He's got the longest legs in the UFC. He's got the longest reach in the UFC. He's
Yeah,
got the most wrestling skills. I don't know. Like I don't see where Stipe actually gets this. Unless, like you said, the boxing is there. It's clean enough. But
but also, how much does a ring rust affect him, or does it affect him at all?
right. The last time he was in the cage, he got caught by Francis, and that was 3-4 years ago. And this guy's retired and older.
Yeah, I mean, with some guys, the ring rust affects them. With other guys, it doesn't. So
We just seen Chimaev get a quick dub with ring rust.
yeah, but also the other thing is, I guess age has to play a part in it.
Right.
Stipe's really old. Chimaev isn't. So
And
And I-
John Jones went out there and finished, what's his name in the first round, who was way younger, way more in shape, stronger than Stipe, a better kickboxer, and he got leveled and taken to the ground. So,
Cyril Gane.
yeah, Cyril Gane. Like, I don't know. I just don't see it for Stipe.
And also John Jones hasn't been in the octagon for a long time too.
I wouldn't be as worried because his last fight was a victory.
Yeah, and also he wasn't in the octagon a long time before he fought Cyril Gane. He didn't fight in 3 years too, and he finished a guy in the first round.
Right. So I think it's John Jones by a mile. I don't even think this fight was honestly worth it.
I'm honestly shocked that
They
Okay.
held up the division for so long for this. Like, I want to see John Jones and Aspinwall.
yeah, it just makes so much more sense to have him fight Tom Aspinall. Because to me, that'd be the only real challenge right now at heavyweight. I don't know if there's anybody else really in heavyweight.
Because the second the fight starts, Aspinall's not even the champ anymore. He's still the interim. He's
Right.
won fights, defended an interim belt, but is the second John Jones, and that bell rings. Aspinall's not a champ anymore. He's just the number one contender.
And I also think it's ridiculous that Tom Aspinall even had to defend his interim belt. Makes no sense. Once you have an interim belt, you face the guy who has the heavyweight belt, who has to unify the belts.
Right, to unify the belt. Also, he tore his ACL in the championship fight and still got...
It doesn't make any sense why he has to. It's beyond me. But I mean, I mean, who really is John Jones gonna? I mean, who is he gonna face? Maybe Curtis Blades. I guess Curtis Blades because he's a good wrestler, but I think Blades has to win it. Blades just lost to Tom Aspinall. He has to go out.
Right.
He has to go out and beat the guys that are ahead of him. Pavlich is 4th. Volkov is 3rd. Maybe beat Cyril Gahn at number 2. You can't. His next fight can't be fighting John Jones, if that ever happens. And now John Jones talks about, retiring. It seems like this could be the final fight for both John Jones and Stipe. So I don't know.
He beat Blades. Honestly, I think Ngannou needs to come back and just fuck Aspinall up.
But I think
that's what I want to happen. I don't care about this John Jones Stipe thing. If anything, that's what I want to see. I want to see John Jones just get the dub already, get the fight over with, beat Stipe. Francis comes back, fights Aspinall. Francis wins. Francis, John Jones, boom, all for the gusto. Both retire after, and they say, who's the best fucking heavyweight ever?
But
is it Francis or is it John Jones?
But Dana White hates Francis Ngannou so much.
He said he'll never come back to the UFC.
I don't think that fight is ever going to happen, unfortunately. I would love to see that fight.
I feel like the phone is still on for Francis if he wants to call it.
I hope so. I don't
think Dana blocked his number. I just think he's like, listen, I don't think we're ever going to agree on anything anymore. I think that ship has sailed. But who knows?
But I think Francis probably has a better relationship with Hunter Campbell than he does with Dana White. So maybe there's something there. But I don't know. I mean, Dana White's the top guy. I mean, everything goes through him, I would think. Right. I mean, if White says no, then I guess it's no. But I mean, if we're not going to get the Francis fight, I want to see John Jones fight Tom Aspinall because that seems like an actual, competition. Aspinall, he can I think he could defend the takedowns. I think he's a good grappler himself. He has power in his hands. He's young. Mm-hmm. It just makes so much more sense. With John Jones fighting Stipe, I'm not really impressed if he beats Stipe, to be honest. Mm-hmm. I mean, Stipe is old. He's coming off a knockout loss. He hasn't fought in over 3 years. I mean, he's considered the greatest heavyweight of all time, and maybe he is. But at this point in his career, what is it really saying that John Jones can beat Stipe Miocic? Maybe 5-6 years ago, it would be more impressive to me. But, I mean, at this point in his career, how impressive is it? I think it's much more impressive to go out and fight Tom Aspinall. Or even Curtis Blades. I mean, at least guys that are active and younger. Right. And that could pose more of a threat. I mean, Stipe, I don't think has a chance of taking down John Jones or even getting in some kind of grappling fight with him. If it goes to the mat, I think John Jones just has too many weapons. There's just too many weapons. He's too smart of a fighter. His IQ is way too high. Mm-hmm. I just don't see a path to where Stipe wins that fight unless somehow they get into it's only boxing. I might take Stipe if it's just strictly boxing, but yeah, it's an MMA fight. And John Jones is a -725 favorite, and I think that makes sense.
Word. Last one. I'll leave on this. Since we've talked about this card a little bit, we said the Pantoja fight versus Kai Asakura. Bilal and Shavkat Rakhmonov. I think Bilal's going to win.
You didn't see it? It got canceled.
It got canceled?
Yeah. Toe is huge. He's got some bone infection in one of his toes.
Who does?
Bilal Muhammad.
Bilal? Oh yeah, doesn't he have staph in his toe?
He might have something like that.
They said it won't heal, but the thing is bro, staph infections heal after a few weeks. That's what I don't get.
I don't know. It looks
less than a week, if anything. But unless this is really bad, this is some gross. I don't know what it could be.
But it's some kind of bone infection.
Okay.
So now they're trying to figure. I mean, now to me, you should do Shavkat versus Usman.
Usman's gonna basically just fill in for the.
I like that fight. I like Kamaru Usman versus Shavkat Rakhmonov.
Me too. I think Usman will win that. I don't know. Something about Rakhmonov in his last fight. I don't think he's as tight as I thought he was. I think there's something off about Rakhmonov. I think he could be stopped. Because there's some guys that are just too big and strong as a wrestler. I think he's technically an amazing wrestler, but he doesn't have overpowering strength. And against Usman, you're going to want to have some overpowering strength because he's a tank.
Right. And let me see what Let me see this record. Where the why showing his record? What did he fight? He fought. Was it Wonder Boy he fought last? Yeah, see, like he beat Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. That's not saying much to me that he choked out Wonder Boy. I mean, an older Wonder Boy who's not a good grappler, who doesn't have great takedown defense. I mean, I don't know. It's not saying a whole lot to me. I thought Jeff Neal had fought well against Shavkat too. I mean, he got choked out. I get it, but I thought when they were boxing, I thought Jeff Neal was handling himself pretty well there. So I don't know. I think Rakhmonov has to fight another top ranked guy, honestly, before he fought Bilal Muhammad. Because he beat Wonder Boy, and Wonder Boy is what in the rankings right now? I mean, I guess it was different. I mean, Wonder Boy is 11th right now, so I would think he was maybe inside the top 10 before that. But I mean, with Usman, it makes sense. Usman's number 2. I don't know. I'd like to see that fight.
Me too. At least that's where I'm at with it.
Is anybody else? I mean, Della Maddalena, I don't know how great of a fight that is for Jack. Brady, no. Covington doesn't want to fight anybody.
Right.
And I guess, and for Rakhmonov, it doesn't make much sense for him to, go down in the rankings to fight those guys. That's why Usman probably makes the most sense to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's Usman. I think Usman gets the belt back, and then they set up something. Probably Bilal and Usman fight each other.
Yeah, because if Usman fights Rakhmonov, I don't know who I'd take in that.
And then you even have some room for, like, if Usman beats Bilal, Chimaev gets 185. He could go for double champ, and then Usman and Chimaev can rematch at 170, and Chimaev can go for double champ. Like, there's a cool story potentially building.
Right.
Like, there's some good stuff going on in both weight classes, and Chimaev has business in both because he's a top 5 fighter at 170 and 185. So, I mean, I like the sound of it.
I wonder how that Muhammad and Usman fight turns out. I just don't know how good Usman is now. I mean, he hasn't fought really that much in the past 2 years or so.
And they say he's got bad knees. He can't train as much anymore and all that stuff.
But I mean, he did a great job defending the takedowns from Chimaev.
Right.
And after that first round, you could definitely make the argument that Usman won the fight.
Yeah. So I think that's why I think he's going to stop Rakhmonov, because I think Rakhmonov is Chimaev without brute strength. And that's the separating factor between Chimaev and Rakhmonov, is that alone, that he is just too fucking strong. Shavkat, on the other hand, he gets you and he just doesn't let go of you. He's just got that, like, boa constrictor type thing, but he's not sitting there mauling you, bringing you to the ground, giving you no option. It's more he hangs on you, and he's just so technical, and he'll get you in ways that you can't stop it. But he doesn't have that brute strength, and I think that's what you actually need to get Usman. And if Chimaev didn't have the brute strength to bring down Usman at 170, actually, wasn't that fight at 185?
Which one? The Chimaev and Usman fight?
Yeah.
That was at 185. Yeah,
that was at 185, right?
Usman took that fight on, like, what was it, 10 days notice?
Shorter notice, yeah.
Him and Volkanovski saved that card.
Yeah, they did.
So, and that I think that's good for Usman too, because I mean, this is what he was able to do without a full training camp, preparing for one of the most dangerous guys in that division, or really dangerous guys in the UFC when it comes to grappling and taking you down.
And he's fighting the Walmart version of Chimaev.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know, like,
which isn't still bad. I mean, the guy's 18-0. Let's not talk about Rakhmonov like he's a scrub. I just believe I see some kinks in his armor, and I think he's not as impenetrable as people think.
Right. And I think I feel like the Muhammad fight is better for Usman, because I think he's a better striker, and I think wrestling they're pretty close, but I think if you have to get in a boxing fight, I would definitely take Usman in that.
Yeah, I think Usman would beat Bilal, and I think he would be the first person to get a knockdown on Bilal too. I think he would potentially TKO him. Yeah,
because Bilal has his striking is definitely improved, but I think if we're talking about what guy can get a knockout, it's definitely Usman. We've seen it. He's been able to knock out actual strikers.
Exactly.
he can definitely knock out Muhammad, but you just got to see how much Muhammad pressures him as far as trying to take him down and getting the fight to the mat. So we got to see who's actually the better wrestler in that.
Right. No, I agree.
But the Rachmanov fight, it's tough. That's a tough fight.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough fight, but I think it's going to be a fun next couple of weeks for us watching the UFC.
And basketball, college basketball is back. Juju Watkins plays tomorrow afternoon.
Well, let's get it. The Michael Jordan of the WNBA, future
Well,
Juju Watkins.
12 p.m. they play against, I think it's a good team.
So that's 9 a.m. for me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me see. Hold on. Scores. I think they're playing in Paris or something. Yeah, they're playing in Paris against Ole Miss, and Ole Miss is ranked 20th in the country. USC is number 3. And then UConn starts their season Thursday against Boston University, so they should beat them by 1,000 points.
Fudd and Page.
No, Fudd isn't back yet.
Fudd isn't back yet, but Page is back.
Page is definitely back. They're playing
Better.
They're playing some kind of preseason game right now against Fort Wayne or something.
Mm-hmm. Man, I don't know who the Valkyries are going to draft. I heard they got the 5th pick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it won't be Paige. I don't think
it won't be Paige. She's not going 5th.
Yeah,
so let's see. It could be the girl from South Carolina or something like that. We'll see who it is.
Yeah, unless something strange happens, Paige is definitely going to be
top 3.
Top 3, worst case scenario, I would think. Yeah. Unless really has an off season, or
even if she gets hurt this year, she's still a top pick. I don't care what anybody says. That girl could ball.
Right.
So everybody knows it too. Like no one's too shy to say Paige can't ball. It's just Paige has been hurt a lot, and the team stinks when she's not playing. So it falls on her a lot.
Yeah, this is really the best time of the year.
Yeah, it is. Best time. Paige isn't hurt.
Oh, is back.
Game 1, Paige isn't hurt. It's the best day of the year.
NBA is in full swing. NFL is deep in the season. Nothing better.
Nothing better. But on that note, thank you guys for tuning in. This was an extremely long episode, but we had a lot to talk about. This season has been crazy. Fuck Marcus Hayes for talking about Joel Embiid's family. So I hope you get your credentials removed and you get it to somebody who actually wants to cover the game and talk about what happens on the court. So I hope that happens.
Me too.
Any last words?
UConn's winning the chip this year. I think UConn's going to win the chip this season.
UConn women's. You heard it here first.
UConn women.
UConn women winning the title.
And Juju's going to average like 35.
Yeah, we can't wait to see what Juju Watkins. I'm actually going to go to a USC game this year to watch Juju play in person.
They play. Oh yeah, well you're in California, but they do come to Connecticut this year.
Really? They play UConn?
Yeah.
Oh shit. All right. Well, maybe when's the season starting for women's college?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. So maybe even when you're here, maybe we
can hold up.
There's a USC game. We could go check the schedule real quick. We'll leave on that.
Hold up. Okay.
We'll see if we could go see Juju Watkins in person.
So I'm gonna be there from the 15th to the 19th. Nope, I'm not. Nope, we're not getting a game there. They play on the 15th. They play on the 15th at 3:00.
15th at 3.
They don't play again until the 23rd. They have a big break, so they don't play.
Of course they do. Of course they don't play a game. The one week you are here is the only week they don't play basketball.
And the 23rd they play Notre Dame, and Notre Dame's always really good. They're 6th in the country right now.
Right, that'll be a good game.
Yes, they play Santa Clara on the 15th, and then Notre Dame on the 23rd.
Okay.
So yeah,
maybe I'll try to make a pit stop there. But I definitely want to see Juju play this year because I fucked up with Caitlin Clark. I was dumb tired one day after work, and coincidentally enough, even my girl said, "Hey, Caitlin Clark's coming into town as Sparks," and I just wasn't feeling it. And I'm like, you know what? I'll go the next game. And it was Caitlin Clark's first win on the Fever, and I think she also did some good things that game as well.
Yeah, I think
it was the first win of the Fever's season. And I missed it, and they did it in LA, and I didn't go, and I didn't see Caitlin Clark, and I regretted not going that day. So I'm not going to miss out on Juju Watkins while she's here. Same thing when I was in Iowa. You know, I got to see Doug McDermott in his senior season play college basketball. That was fucking dope. You know,
Average 30.
he averaged 30. He set the singles or the all-time record in points that Caitlin Clark eventually broke. Or tried to. He didn't break it, right?
I don't think so.
Because it's still Pistol Pete? Or did Doug McDermott break it?
No, I think Pistol Pete's still ahead of him.
Pistol Pete had it, right? He almost broke it his senior year, but he was like 2 games off.
Yeah.
And then the next guy, Antoine Davis, out of Detroit Mercy, is a low Division I school. He was like 2 points away from breaking Pistol Pete's record, and he scored like 20-something in the playoffs too, but they lost. If they made it to the next game, he would have broke his record.
That was a couple years ago, right?
Yeah, that was a couple years ago. Antoine Davis out of Detroit Mercy, and then Caitlin Clark broke it, the previous year. So I think she's the all-time official leader in points, no matter what, men or women.
Right.
Yeah, so let's see. I think Juju Watkins has a chance to actually break that, and I want to be, I want to be a part of when she breaks it. She's not going to break it next year, but I at least want to see her play in college to say I seen the best college player ever play.
But I really think she's better. I think she's going to be better than Clark. I mean, look at what she looked like her freshman season.
And she's bigger than Clark.
I really
Clark's
think
6 feet. Juju's 6'2".
Yeah, honestly, and as much of a fan I am of Paige Beckers, I don't know, Watkins just seems different to me.
Yeah. And the biggest criticism of Watkins is that she takes 25 shots a game, but what star doesn't?
Yeah, I mean,
that has been the biggest criticism of players like Cam Thomas, where they say
Paige,
he shoots too much. Do you tell Tyrese Maxey to not shoot 31 field goals a game? No.
But Paige, that's the only thing. Paige is incredibly efficient.
Right. But they're going to be 2 different draft classes. Paige is next year, Juju's in 2.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think Watkins is going to be scary.
Word.
But
all right. We're going to check out Juju Watkins sometime this year. It's unfortunate we can't watch her together, but you could go to the UConn game. I could go to maybe the Notre Dame game or any other one, and then we could kind of compare notes and see how we really felt seeing her game in person, see how it translates. And maybe even I like doing the body language doctor stuff. When I go to in-game, in-person games, not just watching it on TV, I like to watch what they do off camera, like watching them, how they interact in the huddle, how they interact with everything. So let's see what's up.
Yeah.
We're rooting for you, Juju Watkins. Don't let us down. We think you're the GOAT. All right. We out. Peace, y'all.
Adios.